Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SpawnCast episode 149. Sean already with the XFL already out. We are like 2 seconds in.
Yes.
He's already got the XFL logo out. Is that copyright? I don't know if we're in trouble already.
No, I don't
started the podcast.
No, they're cool. They're cool.
They're cool. All right. You know what? They probably want whatever any publicity they can get, right?
Oh, they're retweeting people with like one like on their tweets with XFL. All you gotta do is like use the tag and they'll retweet that shit.
They should be retweeting this stream then, right? We got XFL right there.
Hopefully.
Yeah, boom. We need retweeting this, right? Oh man. I told Sean we gotta start that XFL channel now. Let's go. Let's start it up.
I am down for an XFL channel. I swear I am. I'm totally down for that.
PJ Walker, man, dude's amazing.
How are you doing tonight?
Cordell, yeah.
How's it going?
Not bad. Just hanging out, enjoying the XFL today.
I see the green screen's in full effect. So
of course.
Very good. All right, very cool. Very good. Then we have MVG. What's going on, man?
What's going on? Great to be here.
Yep, you've been enjoying, I assume, the Phantasy Star beta. We'll talk about that soon, but I guess you've been enjoying that, like me. I'm had a good time with that one.
After that false start we had last night, it's been pretty good.
Wasn't much of a start, but
yeah.
Something. Oh man, talk about that too. Sean, be careful with that desktop just getting flashed around. Never know.
Yeah, I know. I was moving the chat over.
OJ, how's it going tonight, man?
It's going good, yeah. Just like Sean, enjoying the XFL, man. So it's been a pretty good day. Been busy doing other stuff, getting some stuff ready, doing furniture and all this stuff. But I'm all right.
Nice. And then Nate, how's it going? Is it Nate's mute icon?
He's still muted.
Yeah. He's still muted. Yeah.
I'm okay. Don't worry.
All right, cool, awesome. Right. Jordan, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
It's good to have you here. Then we got Max, who saw a movie and got to have some fun this past week. I don't know much you can say about it, but
I'm allowed to say what the game was. I flew to LA to play a game called Outriders. It's the new game by the guys who made Bulletstorm. That is very next gen. I can talk about that later in the week. But I also saw the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's actually great. I'm really surprised. Yeah, it's the CGI is nuts. Redone Sonic looks so realistic.
Best video game movie ever?
I definitely say, yeah. Unironically, I can say that it's definitely my favorite. It's surprisingly sad. There's a lot of in-depth story about Dr. Robotnik and Sonic, and we see Sonic's home planet and why he has to run to different planets. It's really well done. I have a big video up on my channel. I just put out.
So you're telling me it's better than Blood Vein?
Blood Vein?
Or what's that game?
Blood Rain.
So you're telling me it's better than Blood Rain?
Blood Rain is basically a porno. I mean, I watched that movie.
It's not better than Blood Rain.
It
depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit less titties. Sonic does go to a cowboy bar that has a lot of like scantily clad women. So I mean, it's got some titties.
I think we can have a conversation on this. Dreamcast guy, we need to have a conversation on this. We'll just go back.
I think it's very apropos that you got to see it, Max. Because like a year ago, we were like KatsuCon, you got to see the early version of the trailer.
I leaked all this, and now I get to watch the movie early. So it was I'm definitely very happy.
Nice. We have Miss Click. How's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Good to have you here. Good to have you here.
Yeah.
Our guest tonight, VCIPZ. Biceps.
Yep.
How's it going?
VC,
tonight,
it's going
man?
pretty good. Just been playing a lot of games lately. I do a lot of live streams and stuff. And aside from that, thank you for inviting me on tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I've been playing a lot of Sekiro again, going through that. I've been playing the Remind DLC again for Kingdom Hearts 3 in critical mode. I'm getting my butt whooped by those data battles. I don't know if any of you have been playing that, but it's a very rigorous thing to do in the critical mode. And aside from that, I got a code recently from Arc System Works for Code Shifters. Been trying that out. Pretty good game. And yeah, that's about it. That and some Mario Maker 2 today. That's all I've been doing. But things been going good.
God, who invited this guy? Shit.
Yeah, 100% click in the build. And I want to see 100 emotes in the chat. Thank you all so much.
Dang, who is this guy? No idea who this guy is. I don't know.
And then we got then Evan. Evan, what's up? How's it going?
Just managing chat.
Good to have Evan back. All right, cool. Evan's here. Let's go around. What's everyone been up to this week? Before you talk about any of the topics, what everyone playing?
Phantasy Star.
Phantasy Star,
Phantasy
yes.
Star.
Yep. I think a lot of us got it. Actually, I don't even know if Nate got to play it, but his mute thing's still on, so I don't know.
Star.
I don't know. Nate said he was breaking out the VCR for it, so I don't.
Hey man, I got mine right here. I love my VCR. It's awesome.
Old faithful.
Oh man, I played it on the X, like the Xbox One X, and it has a 4K mode. And if you turn it on with that, the menus are like tiny. You got to like change them and mess around with it feels like it's the PC version, and they just moved it over almost because you got settings you can go through for graphical settings, and you can do all kinds of stuff. But I almost feel like they just ported that over, and they were like, we'll just make it work with the controller.
What does it look like on the X? Because I'll be honest, I'm playing on the Xbox One S, and I think the world looks good, but it seems like the resolution is low. Like there's a slight, very slight blurriness on mine.
I would say, sorry to jump in, John. I would say it's like 700p or 720p, maybe even less than that. Honestly, it's pretty low. It's pretty fuzzy looking.
That's on the S and the base model Xbox One, right? Because on the one I have on my monitor here, it looks you can tell it's an older game, but it looks sharper, I would say. I think it is. I think it's just straight up in 4K on the Xbox One X.
Yeah, mine's really sharp too. I'm playing it on the X as well. I don't have a 4K monitor that I'm playing it on, but it's like 1440p, and it looks super sharp on mine. And after the whole issue, but it's okay now, but
yeah, I'll be curious because Digital Foundry will do something on this, I bet, because if it is that different. I don't know if you guys did you capture footage, Max, of yours?
Dude, I have so many hours of it. Did you do any of the urgent events? There's like a big world battle that happens every 3 hours. Did you do that?
I haven't done that yet. No, I think I'm almost level 20, or I am level 20 right now. So I've been just kind of working up, playing, just kind of doing through the tutorials and like playing through some of the missions that they have and the daily quests. So I've just been going through all of that. There's a lot of stuff. I forgot how old this game is. So there has been a lot of stuff that is stacked up now, and they're throwing us into it. Like the West just now gets a hold of this game, and it's been when did this game came out?
I looked at, I think it's like 7 or 8.
7 or 8 years ago. So an MMO with 7 or 8 years of updates and new content, and there's just a lot of stuff there now.
You feel it like crazy in the towns. When you go into town, it's like, okay, here's the main shopping complex. Okay, here's the casino complex.
There's a casino.
Oh, here's the training center. It's just like, whoa. And like, oh, here's our 18 simulations. You can test out the different classes. It's really, I honestly, I'm kind of glad that we got it so late, because now we're getting the best version of it.
There's a lot of stuff to do, and it's not like Sean. You didn't check this out yet, did you?
I don't really play MMOs.
It's Phantasy Star though.
Yeah, no, I played the original Phantasy Star Online, but I don't know. It's
like an action RPG.
You gotta check it. So Sean, it's going to be free. They actually just announced that it's going to be completely free.
Yeah, it'll be a free to play game.
They said that there's going to be like 150 like cosmetic things. You can buy stuff to basically dress your character up, and apparently that'll fund it. But you should check it out just because you're a cheap ass.
Yeah, that's true.
It's on it. I mean, it's on a lot. It's on the Vita. Like the Vita has it in Japan. I know the Switch has it. I don't know if the 3D. Yeah, they're cloud versions, but they could technically do something like that. Maybe they'll bring it locally to the Switch. I don't know.
Which is kind of weird because I liked Phantasy Star Zero on the DS, and I played that game a ton. But yeah, I don't know. Just MMOs. I don't know. I never really.
There's no offline mode, which I don't think there's going to be an offline mode. So that's just kind of like they should have put it like it's like my favorite one is the GameCube ones, and those had offline modes. So
yeah, I played it a lot on the original Xbox back in the day. That was really fun. This kind of reminds me of that a bit. And I have the GameCube ones because I started the collection back up, so I have all of those.
The only way to play split screen.
Yeah, one of the few Xbox games that I picked up recently was Phantasy Star again. So I was thinking more and more, MVG, about starting up that Xbox collection because you said it was a bit easier to collect. So that was one of the ones I saw out in the wild the other day, so I picked it up.
Get on it, man.
Yeah, I need to get Tony Hawk 2X. That's what I really want to get because I actually want to play that. But I need that HDMI mod. I need the HDMI mod on the Xbox. Whoever's doing it.
I keep hearing it's coming, so hopefully we'll see something.
All right. Yeah. So I'm enjoying Phantasy Star Online too, but I know we're tomorrow it's going to be done, right? It's done at the end of like Sunday night or something.
I thought it was tonight at 2 a.m.
Is it tonight?
Yeah, oh man. Sunday, yeah. So tonight.
I was hoping they'd extend it a little further because there just wasn't enough time, I thought, to really get through as much as I wanted to.
But your stuff carries over though, right?
Yes, everything will stay here.
It does.
That's good.
The unlockables, there's actually certain beta unlockables. I'm actually going to stay up until it closes at 2 a.m. tonight. I'm going to play it until close because I'm trying to finish all the unlockables. Because you can actually get your mag to look like a Dreamcast if you do 4 urgent quests.
That's cool. Those are fun things to throw in there. But I'm enjoying it. And whenever they do the full launch, I don't know when that is, but whenever they do a full launch, they got to open more ships because that was bad. Because they opened one ship, that thing immediately overfilled, and the server just caught on fire. I guess I don't know. Sega did not anticipate the Western's interest in this game.
Yeah, just for chat, we actually, me, MVG, and SpawnWave got into a Discord call, and we're all trying to play together, and we spent an hour just all simultaneously pressing login over and over and over again, and none of us could get in.
I'm telling you.
I was pressing it, like trying to get back in, because I originally got in, and then I was trying to get back in for about an hour on stream, where I'm just where I'm sitting there answering questions for like an hour, just trying to get back in. It would take me to sometimes my character, then it would just kick me out. One time it took me through like the little weird warp portal, and they said, "Oh, disconnected."
Yep,
and,
that's the worst.
When I got in the first original time, I was fighting. I was like, okay, this is fun. I'm going through, but it was like the tutorials were hella delayed. Like I would just be sitting there and waiting. The tutorials
it take a while for it to load.
And I'm like, couldn't we just do this offline? They like go into like the online modes like from there. And at one point, it was so funny that I was fighting against like some type of stupid looking dog or something like that. And then like the dog started hitting me, but I couldn't hit the dog back.
Oh,
and it was just like kicking my ass. And I'm just like, okay, what am I gonna do? And then eventually the game was like, all right, you've been disconnected. After the dog like beat me up for a bit, and then I couldn't hit it back. It was funny.
You are disconnected.
What'd you think, MEG, of Phantasy Star?
Dude, I'm liking it a lot, man. It's reminding me of the old Dreamcast game back in the day. I'm all in, man. When the game comes out, I'm enjoying it. I think there's some technical issues that they still got to figure out. But again, I think I don't know if it's some of the things that I saw on the VCR will carry over to the Xbox One X. Like for example, the lobby when you walk in there, it's really, really choppy. Like when you get into the lobby area, it's it's super choppy on the VCR, and like it sits there for about.
See, I didn't have that. I didn't have that issue,
dude. It sits there for about 30 seconds. You can't move your character, and then all of a sudden, you're free. You can start moving around.
Might be time to upgrade to the X.
Yeah, so you can tell it's. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Max.
I was going to say, that exists on the S, but only for 1 second. You basically, for the first second in each area, I just can't move or do anything for the first full second, and then it works.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, I'm liking the game a lot. I'm kind of addicted to it. It kind of reminds me of the old PSO days, man. Like it's like PSO on the Dreamcast and the GameCube, just with a fresh kind of coat of paint. So I'm kind of invested in this world again, and I want to check it out when it comes out for sure.
There's a lot of menus in the game. I'm in menus like half the time when I'm playing that game. I was doing it earlier and I looked and I was like, I've been in a menu for half an hour.
Eastern MMOs tend to love menus.
There's a lot of menus. I was a little surprised. But when the action starts, it's pretty fun. I think the combat's all right. It has like this interesting this method to make it so you're not mashing any of your attacks. You're supposed to be waiting and kind of timing and almost like a rhythm kind of to it. I like that. I thought it was pretty cool to have that. You have different weapon palettes, so you switch between your melee. I have a gun blade, which is always fun.
That's what I kind of defaulted to. Once I found the gun blade, I was like, this is it. I don't need anything else. I'm good.
Yeah, so they have some fun weapons in there, and you enhance them, and they have trees that branch off of trees for skills, and there's a lot of stuff to do there. So I think it's take a while.
I wanted to add, John, to your point about the menus. At least you can change the font size, which is really appreciated.
You can.
You can change. You can make the font large on there, so that was because like there are hella menus, so that's the good thing. There's a lot, but at least you can change the font size, which people do get like really picky about with font size. So it's good. It's good that they have that.
Yep, so far so good with it. I think I just saw somebody in the chat say February 10th for when it ends, but we can double check that just to make sure we don't miss the time that it goes off. Hopefully, I would like them to leave it open a little longer since they had so many problems the night it came out. Like leave it open an extra day or something. But
yeah, that'd be right. That'd be a good idea.
we'll see.
Yeah, and they did say that they were looking at ways to kind of, apologize for all the server downtime they had. So hopefully that means, hey, they'll keep it open for a little longer.
Sure, I think that'd be good.
A day or two extra.
I did finish. I finished Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Is done.
What'd you think?
What were your thoughts?
It was all right. It wasn't great. That's my biggest problem. They could have been better. And I've talked about it for weeks now, but I got to the point where I didn't really feel like playing it, but I was like, I'm in the Majin Buu saga. I might as well finish this thing up.
Yeah, once you're at that point, you gotta keep going.
And I did, and they have some end game stuff, but like it's not enough for me to want to keep going. Like max level your characters, and then there is a storyline right at the end of the game. It's like the last, big dungeon boss you go to, basically, and it ties this game in with Xenoverse. So I have not done that, and I don't really care to do that. So I'm done with it. It's done. I beat it. I'm moving on to Phantasy Star, and then after Phantasy Star, I don't know because what comes out in February?
Dreams?
Darksiders Genesis. I just ordered that actually on Amazon, so that's great.
I already beat it.
Oh.
Never mind.
I got it on Steam. Yeah. Oh, no, not Stadia. Who said Stadia? Not Stadia. No, I like it.
Stadia's still around.
Darksiders Genesis is very good though. If you ordered it, you will enjoy it. I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, because I ordered it for the Switch, so I can't wait to try it out, especially on the go. Because I liked all the Darksiders games, and this style it looks more reminiscent of a Diablo game.
Do you like Diablo?
Yeah, I have Diablo 3. I have that as well. I've been playing through that.
Do you like Darksiders?
Yeah.
You will like the game then.
Awesome.
It is very good. It is very good if you like both those games. You'll enjoy it. It's longer too. I think it was like I think it took me 16 hours to get through it.
Nice. Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah. Because for me, it's one of those games where I pick up, I progress through a level a bit, and then I put it in sleep mode for a while. It's one of those kinds of games for me. I don't just sit there for the whole time for that one, but it's something I have a lot of fun with.
And then I did play GeForce Now, which we'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, so John.
Is he okay?
Did he knock over Mitch?
Fuck you!
Tinder day came over early.
That was an order.
She didn't look like her picture, bro. That's what happened.
Yeah. Carly was
had that happen before.
You break Mitch, buddy?
Sean, you all right?
The Knicks were up 4 with 13 seconds left, and some bum on the Pistons hit a very contested 3, and now there's 7 seconds left, and Reggie Bullock's going to the line. We're trying to get 4 in a row here.
Why are you getting mad over the Knicks?
Because the Knicks. Because there is a small chance that they will get the 8th seed in the.
Why are you getting mad at sports ball?
And get absolutely blown out by the Bucks in the first round.
That's fine. It's about appearances. It is about appearances.
All right. Okay.
Well, Sean, why don't you tell us what you've been playing then, Sean?
I have been playing NBA 2K20, obviously, since all of the trade deadlines have come and gone. Rebuilding. That's the name of the game for the Hornets and the Knicks for the past 20 years. I've been playing Cuphead a lot, and I don't know why.
I love Cuphead.
I got back into playing Cuphead. I've been playing it through on the Switch. And in my video that I uploaded yesterday, there's a Switch eShop sale with like over 400 games. And one of the games was Phantom Doctrine. That was from $20 to $2. So I went ahead and picked that up, and I started playing it today. It's not bad. Like it's a strategy sort of spy espionage game, kind of like an XCOM style game where you certain movements take your action points away, and but it's obviously not like Mario Rabbids because you have like real guns and stuff, and it's kind of neat. I don't think I would have liked it as much if I paid the full $20 because the graphics are kind of shitty. Like, how some Switch games have like really shitty hair and like the hair just looks ridiculous.
How much is it on sale for?
It's $2.
Oh,
so for
okay.
$2, I mean, it's whatever. But you know how like when Mortal Kombat first came out, before they did the graphics update, like the Switch version had that really shitty hair. Like that shitty hair is in this game as well, and I don't know if that's just like an option that developers use, like, oh yeah, we're doing the Switch version, let's put the shitty hair in the game.
It just says shitty hair next to it.
I choose bad hair.
But yeah, like other than that, like it's if you like games like XCOM and even I guess to some extent like a strategy RPG with like a thriller sort of narrative, it's not bad. And for $2, I mean, you can't go wrong with it.
Nice. All right. MVG. We talked about Phantasy Star. Did you play anything else really this week?
Not really, man. I was kind of busy and just celebrating the Chiefs' Super Bowl victory earlier this week. I know you guys don't want to talk about that.
All right. Move on. Anything else you do, buddy? What else you do?
No, man. I was all psyched for Phantasy Stars. I didn't really play anything else this week. I was kind of busy with
Did you go to the parade?
You know, I was gonna go, but man, the weather was so shitty. I didn't even go down there. But there was like 1 million people down there. So
yeah, okay.
It was fun though. Good for the city. That's what I did. Say.
I also saw the refs also in the crowd with them too. I'm joking. The 49ers choked. They choked. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They choked.
They did choke.
Yeah, they choked.
It's always next year.
I've been saying that since 1995, by the way. When I was like, this next year, and my voice got progressively deeper. And now, like 25 years later, I'm still saying next year.
The Chiefs had to wait a while, so I got it.
They waited 50 years, so yeah, that's true.
No doubt.
Nate.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Hi,
Nate's here. Nate.
Yep.
Hit us with it. What were you playing this week? Wait, did you try to play Phantasy Star?
I turned the Xbox on. I was going to go download it, and I said, you know what? I'd rather play Resident Evil 2 Remake again. So I never downloaded it.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So then that's what you play. What did you play this week then?
I played good games like Persona 5 on the Switch.
Nah,
because that demo is awesome and people aren't talking about it.
Scramble is really good.
Oh yeah, I played that too.
Yeah.
The reason I didn't download it because it's not in English. So
it won't be English
is it not?
for months, for a long time.
The demo's only in Japanese.
Yeah, and there's a ton. Like I was gonna do a video on it.
Dialogue heavy?
Yes, it's very dialogue heavy. Yeah, you can see the buttons.
Okay, it shows you the look, L button.
I need to have Photo translate with my phone.
For someone who doesn't know shit about Persona 5, I sat there and I was like, what is going on? Like, I got to play a little fun segment of gameplay, and then they're like, okay, walk around this town and go in this building and talk to these people for an hour.
Yeah, it was for like 25, 30 minutes. I did the same thing on stream. It took forever.
I have 30 minutes of footage on the channel. I went through the whole demo. I don't speak Japanese.
Nor do you. We don't know that.
Yeah, we don't.
I went through most of the demo. You can skip through it, so you can just skip through all that because I don't understand Japanese either. You just skip through it, and I just want to play the game because this was the game that everybody was just saying, "Oh, this is crap." The regular Persona.
It's fun though.
And it's really good. It's not Persona 5 Warriors. People think that's what people are saying, but it's really not. It's an action RPG with some elements of the Warriors franchise, but it doesn't feel like Fire Emblem Warriors or Hyrule Warriors. It feels like an action RPG. It feels
like a Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it feels like a Kingdom Hearts, or it feels like some other type of action RPG because there's platforming parts in there, and there's not every single area you just go and fight a bunch of people. There's areas where there's only 3 enemies on screen, and then you fight them, then you get experience. So it's you level up that way. There's all sorts of other stuff that you do in terms of how you level up and how you progress. It is not a typical drop you in this big area, then you run around and fight people. That's how all Warriors games are, like One Piece or Gundam or any of the other themed games. This is something completely different. It's really not the same. Outside of there are some areas where you do that and it's fun, it's not the whole thing like in other Warriors games. There's other different segments and parts and platforming and 2D parts, and it's actually really, really good. It's much better than what I thought it was going to be, honestly. I like it more than Fire Emblem Warriors and Hyrule Warriors.
Well, hopefully it makes it to the West by the end of this year.
Maybe 2 years from now, maybe we'll see it.
Probably 2 years is definitely a good guess.
You know how Atlas does it, baby?
That's good though. Was that most what you played, Nate, or do you have some weird game that you always seem to have?
I played a good eShop game that's going to get completely overshadowed. It's called, what the hell is it called?
Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Don't hate on Sayonara Wild Hearts.
It's so good. I forgot the name.
I was gonna say just build this game up, so it was gonna get forgotten, and then forget the name of it.
Oh, what the hell is that? Kunai.
Okay.
It's a Metroidvania parkour ninja game where you swing around. You're basically a Spider-Man Ryu Hayabusa.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah, the character's a tablet. He's the most advanced piece of technology in this post-apocalyptic Terminator type of world, and you kill enemies that are basically little outdated televisions and stuff, but the game controls amazingly. It's actually a really cool game, and no one's going to pay attention to it.
I'm so confused.
Is it one of those games that got dropped on the eShop with like 20 other games all at once?
I don't know what else came out this week.
I bet you if I check the eShop, there's like 80 games on there that came out this week.
Well, this is the only good one.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like it's going to blend in with the other ones that popped up on the eShop.
Well, it shouldn't. It's a damn good game, and people should be playing it. Just like Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Do you know how much it is?
I think it's $19.
Okay, not bad. Let's go to Miss Click. What'd you play this week?
Hey, nothing too crazy. I feel like I kind of stick to a routine sometimes more often, just by the nature of what I do. Obviously, we were doing Ring Fit challenges for Nintendo last week, so that was good. The game is insane. I think someone was saying overall there's like 23 worlds, and I'm on like world 7. So
long way to go.
And there's endgame content. So that game, legitimately, you are getting your money's worth. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Someone's like, what, $80? Like the hardware. I mean, you've held it, John. Like, you've got to, like, it's well made. It lasts. Like,
oh yeah.
Haven't heard any stories of it breaking with people like not intentionally trying to break it. You know what I mean? Anyways, that was great. And then we've been doing more, I think, Overwatch. But then I was just doing some Escape from Tarkov today again, and that game. That game is stress in a bottle, and
I'm playing an RPG version of that right now too.
Oh God, like people, it's one thing for those of you who are into shooters, like it's really, really cool. It's just one of the most complex shooters I've ever played. Like getting down the maps and the gameplay is one thing, but like managing your inventory, because selling and dismemberment is a really big thing for all your weapons and your products and stuff. And I was overwhelmed today, so it was good. Other than that, I mean, I'm trying to think what else. I don't think Byleth. Played a lot of Byleth this week. I think this is the most fun I've had with a character in Smash in a while. Like, I love the kit. Like, the other ones are really cool because of like, Banjo's in Smash or Joker, of all things. Like, that's completely out of the blue. But I think Byleth, the kit, is my favorite. Just the range and the poke, just everything about that character. Love it.
Yeah, Byleth's really dope. I like Byleth too. Really dope character. I also like Joker and Banjo a lot. Byleth, everyone's like, it's just another Fire Emblem character, but it doesn't have just a sword. He has an axe. He's got a bow and arrow. Yeah. He's more unique. He's more well-rounded.
Some of my favorite animations come from anything to do with the axe. Some of my favorite animations in that game in general. Like, I legitimately, after playing an online match, ended up getting stuck with someone who was a slideshow, and it like stopped on some of the animation. I was like, hold up a minute. I got to go to like offline matches, and I just did the photo mode, and I was legitimately watching all of the animation, the particle effects that they were putting into this kit. It is legitimately one of the coolest weapons I have seen. I know it probably sounds really dumb, but yeah, just beautiful.
How does that sound dumb? The animations for Byleth are freaking amazing.
Listen, man, I say something and it sounds dumb. I don't know.
No, that was you. I'm glad that you brought that point up, because Byleth's animations with all the different weapons.
They did the weapons justice. Yeah.
It's really cool, especially like if you've played Fire Emblem and like you see these hero relic weapons, but then you don't see them in the same light as Sakurai does. Like, you see his interpretation of how this looks, and it's freaking amazing. And I agree. Outside of Joker, but Joker's just better. But Byleth is more fun to use. Joker's just a better character, but Byleth is by far, in my opinion at least, the most fun to use, because he's just super strong. And his recovery, oh my God, Gotcha recovery. If you don't know how to recover in Smash, pick Byleth.
And the fact that it like will go up the bottom of certain maps, it'll just slide you right up to the side to where you can rehook again. Absolutely crazy.
You can recover from above the stage, so he like
it'll drag you down. Yeah.
And the animation's amazing. It's like Castlevania or something. It's so cool.
Yeah, I agree. Really cool. But other than that, I mean, I'm going on vacation this whole next week, so I'm gonna be in Colorado next week.
All right.
We're going to
you gonna smoke?
Cold.
That's like the main reason people go to Colorado.
I probably
You're gonna hit the slopes?
The main thing is I've never really seen snow, so I'm hoping we can catch some in time, because last time I was there was like, it was in May or something. So like everything was kind of already done for. So we went there to like go and drink because we were told that it's one of the best places at that time to drink because of all the sales. But it was really fun, really fun. So we're going back for the cold.
You'll catch some snow. February is like the coldest month of the year, so you'll be good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm excited.
What about Max?
What have I been playing?
Yeah, let's hear it, Max.
Other than the top secret game that I can't talk about till next week, I'm so addicted to Phantasy Star Online. This is so good. I'll be honest, I actually just booted up again on the second screen to secretly do some quests while we're on the podcast. It is so tight. It is so clean. It's weird because I never played Phantasy Star Online 2 when it was in Japanese.
It was so difficult to do it without because you have to. I remember people put out patches to try to translate it for you, but then to like sign up, they eventually got to the point where you had to use like a VPN to do it correctly, and it was a strange situation to do that. So it was something I'd watch YouTube videos for it all the time, just see the gameplay for it back in the day. But
it would drive me crazy because when you'd see those videos, the people were having such a blast. So it was always annoying to see this like game that was in English in a way and stuff. But now that we're finally playing it, it's exactly what I wanted. I'm just so blown away because like MVG put it perfectly. It feels like remastered Phantasy Star 1. We still have the forest, we still have the caves. It's just more beautiful. I'm loving it. I'm playing a ranger of the mech robot race, so I'm running around just machine gunning everything. I just got a gun blade myself that's like super high level, so now I'm just chopping everybody with my gun blade and loving it, man.
Yeah, I picked a braver, so they have like a bow and arrow and a sword and a gun blade. So
I got two characters. I got a braver and I got the hunter as well. So I'm not sure which one I like better, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I believe I read that one character can do everything. You can just switch your class. So you can actually have one character that's everything, and you just basically you'll go back to level 1 as the other class, but then whenever you want, you can just switch. That way you can be like a level 30 of one class and then like a level 2 of another.
Yeah, when you go to the skills person, they ask if you want to change your class, and there appeared to be some sort of premium type currency, I guess, almost that you would use to do it or change around or I'll have to double check because it was when I first like showed up playing that I saw that. So I'll see a little more.
I haven't figured it out myself totally, but there's some apparently main abilities and subclass abilities. So I think there's going to be an advantage of like if you level up one class, leveling a second class, you'll actually be stronger because certain of your talent points already work. I don't know. The depth of it, it's exactly what I didn't know I wanted. I'm so happy with it.
VC, you kind of ran through a lot of the stuff that you were playing.
Yeah, I already ran through a bunch of it, but I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 3, the critical mode for the Remind DLC. It's been a pain to go through, but I did complete it originally in Proud mode, and now I'm just going through it in critical, and they just need to finish the series. Like, get the Xehanort Saga fully finished, because this next game, it looks like there's still going to be remnants of that, because they have the mobile game coming out with the Project Xehanort, so that's going to be a thing, another mobile game, and people have already been following Union Key and Cross, and it's like, there's too many mobile games for people to pay attention to the story to be able to understand the current games. There's too many. But I've been playing Code Shifters. I got a code recently from Arc System Works, and it's a really dope game. It's basically a platformer where you get to play as Kunio and all these different characters from Double Dragon, River City Girls, do these 2D platforming stages, and there's even like a little mini Smash Brothers mini game inside the game where you can get 4 friends and play Smash Bros with all these characters, which is cool. Aside from that, I've been back just playing some Mario Maker 2 today, actually, but things been going good otherwise.
Good stuff. Hey Jordan, how's it going, man? What's going on? What did you play this week?
I did play a game this week.
Did you? Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, and I played it last night. I finally had some free time. It's on something that I know everyone here is scared to touch, but I played a PSVR game. I finally picked up Blood and Truth from London Studios. And I've been wanting to play that for a while, so I finally found an actual physical copy in my hometown, which is nice. It's like the only one around. And I played like 3 hours of it so far, and it's pretty solid. I think they have a decent movement system where it doesn't make you like too queasy, but there's like a lot of like moments where it kind of does like a lot of height stuff, and it can definitely give you vertigo pretty easily. There's a lot of moments I caught myself going, "Whoa, all right, that was a little weird." But it plays really good. The gunplay is excellent, and I'm having fun with it. So yeah, it was a fun time.
Hey, Sean's all about VR, man. He's about to change to a VR channel soon.
I can't wait. He has a lot of channels coming. He has VR, he has wrestling, he has XFL. He's gonna be a busy man this year.
Yeah, he's talking about hip hop too.
A plant caring channel, the Mitch channel. Can't wait.
Tales from the Sonic Drive-Thru.
Oh man, I feel like
that's a Netflix show actually.
Yeah, that would need to be a big budget production.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be
I only like my VR just to watch stuff, and now I'm like getting it so that I can watch. Because I think it's stupid as hell that there's not like. I have Xfinity internet and I have Xfinity cable. Like, why can't I just watch the cable through my headset? Why isn't there an app for that? So I have to go through virtual desktop and then bring up the Xfinity TV anywhere and then watch it through that. But it's kind of choppy because everything is running off my internet connection. So I had to buy like a longer Ethernet cable that comes in tomorrow. But yeah, I just watch movies and stuff. I watched this really cool Star Wars VR thing. And it was like, it's on YouTube, but like, I don't know, it was very engrossing. And I'm like, why don't more people do stuff like this? Like, there's this one part where you're like in this room and you're like a prisoner, and then the door opens up and Darth Vader comes and like gets in your face. It's like, wow, this is dope.
You should check out if you're getting into like VR watching stuff. Rooster Teeth did an experimental thing called, I believe, 11 Little Roosters, and it's actually a series of videos you watch that are in VR that's like a murder mystery. So you'll like see a bunch of people at a concert and the people up on stage get murdered. And so while you're standing in the middle of the crowd, you can see someone like handing a gun around, and you see someone look like they're poisoning a drink, and you get to like, you have to try and follow this crazy party. And they have so many actors and so many elaborate costumes. There's like a guy walking in dressed as a horse and like a drunk like chick and stuff. And so it makes it where like, since it's VR, you really can't just look at it. You have to almost like consume it. It's
that's why I'm liking Blood and Truth, because as equal much like gameplay is there with like the guns, it's really like, it really puts you in the center of like a fast-paced thriller action movie. So it'll cut back to you being interrogated, to you being in the middle of like intense acting scenes, and it's pretty cool how they do it, and like they get in your face just like the Darth Vader thing. Like it's really cool. So I like stuff like that.
They just need that PSVR 2 headset, man.
I was watching I was looking for, because Jurassic Park came out in 3D in like 2013, and like I was trying to find at least to watch the trailer of it or something, and I just came across some like random video where someone was playing one of those Jurassic Park arcade games where you sit down and shoot things, and he filmed it in 3D. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll watch that. And so I turned that on, and I'm watching it, and it was full 360 VR, and I didn't realize it. And like I heard like something, I thought, I don't know, I went to turn my head when I heard something, and there was like this little kid sitting in the seat. I'm like, it's gonna shit out of me, dude. Like I didn't realize there was that full thing going on.
Yeah, like all the way around, dude.
Yeah, it was like a dad and his kid, and I didn't realize there was a kid there, and he was just
there's one there. There was one with like dinosaurs too, where like it throws you in, and there's like little raptors that kind of walk around you.
Yeah,
Oculus Go.
Yeah, the Jurassic World thing. They have like one of those apps.
That was pretty good. OJ, did I get to you?
I already talked about a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you were talking about Scramble and everything too.
Yeah, I just played Persona, always play Smash Brothers. But the funny thing about Smash is that the ranking system is so bad. Like I'm not really good with Byleth, so I get into Elite Smash, and then I get my ass kicked, and then I get out of Elite Smash, and then I get into Elite Smash, and then I get out. And so I'm just waffling back and forth.
It doesn't make sense sometimes. You'll use like 400k points in like one match, and you're like,
you only make 10.
Yeah, and that happened to me today.
With new characters, the ranking's supposed to be based on other people who play it. So, like, especially with new characters, it's gonna take a while before that thing balances out.
Yeah, I guess I just lose a lot of points.
It just
happens for a lot of characters though, not just Byleth. You lose a ton of XP in the quick play mode. But that's why me personally, I just stick with the arenas. I just don't even play Elite anymore. I have my 5 or so characters in there. That's all that matters.
But I'm just saying, it's just weird because it's like there's characters that have not touched since like nearly launch, and like, they've got more points than a character that you're trying to actively get wins with. So right there, that's a flawed system.
Yeah.
You know,
Very
because
flawed.
like my Crom is like That's like hella points, dude. I haven't used Chrome since like day
if that's the case, what if you lost with Crom? Would you lose like a ton of points, or like how does
Not
that?
Not necessarily. No, I remember I picked. I forgot who it was. I think I picked Mario. I haven't used Mario since the first couple weeks that I got him into Elite Smash, and I lost the match, and I didn't lose a bunch, and then I won my next 3 matches with him. I was like, okay, well, I just wanted to see how it works.
Place is secured. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's like everything.
Like if you decay or something, a lot of ranking games you'll decay over time. Huh.
Yeah, so this one it's a little weird, but it helps me practice because I'm probably gonna go to a couple tournaments this year. So
maybe Evo 2020.
Evo, I don't know about. I'm gonna go to 2GG's tournament, so I'll go to Monday Night Mash, whatever they do. So I'll go to a 2GG tournament. So I'll think about that. So Los Angeles stuff, I'll go to that. I don't know about Evo, but I'll go to Los Angeles stuff.
You gotta find a way to stream it. I would legit love to watch like you actually at a tournament.
Watch me go 0-2. Awesome. Watch me go 0-2, sure.
And then just watch you walk around the tournament afterwards. It'd be great.
I gotta see this little 13-year-old kid you keep talking about, man. I really gotta see this kid.
It's OJ walking in looking all badass, and then OJ losing the first round, and there's just 45 minutes of him silently driving home sad.
Aww.
For the whole rest of the stream.
I went 0-2 before at my own local, dude. I was like, what the fuck just happened? It was like 6 weeks into Smash Ultimate. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do good. Went there, went 0-2. I'm like, what the fudge? I'm like, this is stupid. I paid $10 for this. I'm out.
Evan, what'd you play this week? You were talking about a game earlier.
Yeah, Stone Shard. At the beginning of the week, though, I got through the first gym of Temtem. I actually decided to sit down and do that.
Oh yeah. You were doing more Temtem.
Fun.
That's right.
It's really fun so far. But then Stone Shard.
I'm noticing a bit of a shift to Temtem now. I'm seeing this online. I see more videos from people for Temtem.
Yeah, but that's just because it's new. It's great for content.
Is it more engaging than Pokemon?
I like it more, and I think community-wise, it has more function to allow other people to interact. But I mean, it's not as massive.
Is there a story?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So you did the first dojo, we'll say, right?
Yeah.
For the gym dojo, and I guess you'll work more through that. But what was the other game you were playing?
Stone Shard. It's kind of in beta, kind of early access, kind of starting. It's top down. It hybridizes action combat with tactics, so every move or thing you do in the game triggers one turn in the game, so that everything kind of interacts for that turn. But then it's the pen and paper side of it's extreme. So like if someone has a bludgeon weapon and they hit you just right, they can break your arm. It'll lower your accuracy with weapons in that hand, or you'll feel pain over time, lose morale. Like there's all these crazy things in there. That's why I was saying it's kind of like Tarkov, but it's an RPG. You have to maintain your character, level things up, and it's been amazing. I basically died over and over again trying to do the first dungeon for a while on stream, and then got through it. I'm in the second town, and it's pretty amazing. Really fun.
Okay. Very good. We have a Discord question, Evan, before I go over the super chats and we get into the topics.
I mean, we got a couple. Let's go with this one. Are Switch game cartridges so expensive that companies can't at least afford the smallest size one, so you still have the option to trade a game to a friend or sell to GameStop?
Do you mean like if a game comes out and it's just a download code?
I think mostly they're focusing on the aspect of like, why are they avoiding game cards? And it's the expense. Right? We've talked about it a lot. Like the cards are expensive.
You can go to Nate the Hate and hear that exact topic addressed by MVG and I.
I was going to say the same thing.
I know, they have this whole video with this really, really good cover art on it and stuff.
Sean was in the thumbnail. People have to watch it then, right?
That thumbnail.
Yeah, he's a big daddy.
That was the best thumbnail.
It was fun to make, man.
I'm gonna strike that channel for using my picture.
That's not fair use.
People out here really
slander
copyright strikes for that shit. I do karate on somebody. They did that to me.
Karate. I'll get my car, drive 100 miles.
I ain't even doing court. I'm doing karate.
I love it. Yeah, that's a very specific threat. I like it of being like, I'm gonna get my hands and I'm gonna do this shit to your ass.
Just chop, bro.
Just one chop. I'm like, don't
one chop.
Copyright.
Stop copyright strikes.
That's another way.
I would like to know the exact exact price of cartridges by size. That would be. I'd be at least curious to find out about that.
I wonder if we could just
Yeah,
drop an
definitely.
email on them to be like, "Hey, we're making a game and we're thinking of releasing it. How much?" Just to see if we can get actual numbers.
How much for the 128 gigabyte cartridge? That would be interesting just to find out solid numbers on it. But I'm sure they change pretty constantly. Like they're probably always fluctuating.
I would think the small end ones have to be.
I mean, you can get a pretty small cartridge, bro. They're like 512 megabyte carts or something. So they got some little ones.
I think it's in. I think a 4 gigabyte game card costs roughly, after licensing and everything fees, costs roughly the same as a PlayStation 4 Blu-ray.
So 4 gigabyte is like the cutoff. If it's over that, then you got to really sit down and think about if you can make it work.
8 gigabytes cheap enough that it really doesn't make a difference. It's pennies. It's 16 gigabyte and 32 gigabyte where the dollars start to accumulate.
Oh, okay. Okay, I gotcha. So they have to figure, because obviously if you get past that, like if you can make it small enough, you make them download it like NBA does for Sean. Where Sean starts the game and it's like, we got to download 25 gigabytes. Hold on.
At least. I actually bought 2K20 digitally because I wanted it as early as possible. So I bought it from Australia. But I just thought about it and I was like, there's really no point. Like there's no point in waiting for stores to open up and crap like that. So I might as well just download it.
Was it interesting to hear about the Outer Worlds getting pushed back, delayed technically because of the coronavirus, but then they're doing a physical copy of it now?
I mean, if that's what we have to do,
I have a theory on that, though.
Those are videos.
So do I.
I have a theory.
I do have a theory on it. I'm curious to see if yours is the same as mine.
Okay. My theory is it was originally slated for March, which would have been the end of Take-Two's fiscal year. With the delay, it's going to be in the new fiscal year. So I think with the new fiscal year beginning, and it's going to be a whole new, business plan for them. They were able to allocate the funds that they otherwise would not have had available to them at the end of the current fiscal year.
For the cartridge.
Yes, they could have. They basically looked at it and said, we can justify the $1 million to print it now that we're in a new year.
Okay. Well, what? How big is the game going to be on the Switch? Is it going to be under 16 gigabytes?
We do not know.
Because it would have to be that.
Big, because it was.
I think
It's 30. It's 30 something on the Xbox, I believe, right? It's like 33 or something.
That's on
like
the
that.
One X. That's with the 4K textures. On the PS4, it's like a 20 gig game.
Oh,
so
okay.
We kind of suspect it's going to be around the 16 gig mark. So we're not sure if it's going to be above or below. But
Yeah, see, I'm all spoiled over here. I got these 4K textures all over the place, right?
you'd think they're trying to squeeze it under 16 gigabytes.
I bet they could. If it's 20, like you're saying on the PS4, I bet they can get it to 16 or less.
Yeah,
My theory is someone listened to Nate and I's podcast, and they quickly realized that they had made an error in judgment, and they decided that they would bring out a physical version of the game.
They saw that.
That's closer to my theory.
They saw that thumbnail and they were like, you better delay this game. We got to get it on a cartridge.
They don't want hate.
They do not want hate.
They don't want hate.
I mean, I'm glad it's happening. Like, it sucks. Who knows? Obviously, they said that it was because of coronavirus and stuff. But
that's my theory. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a cover up. I think they're just using it to instead of saying, oh, there was enough. No, because they clarified. They said, oh, because of the virus, like, we're going to wait and then we're going to make it physical. Then they replied to their own tweet saying, just to be clear, no one here is sick. Everyone's fine. So I'm like, okay, it's a little weird. But then I think it's because of the backlash. They're just going, you know what? Because the backlash, let's put it out and we'll kind of use some sort of touchy excuse.
So, the developers' offices are closed.
I have a darker theory. Sorry.
They're using something that's killing people to for their video games?
Yes. Hundreds, if not thousands of people are dying. I do think that it's slowing progress. I mean, if anything, their workers are less focused and stuff. I do believe, my theory is that they were gonna have to delay it, and now that they already are forced to delay something, they have chosen to put in the extra work to go and do it physical. I think it's kind of one of those, like, this situation sucks, so let's make it profitably sucky.
Well, I mean,
like
Virtuos is a Chinese company. They're in Singapore. They have offices in Hong Kong. So The
Those
offices that are handling
shut
this
down.
particular project is shut down, so these workers are not going to work.
Well, and there was stuff like it was like the Chinese New Year or something, and then they extended it because of the coronavirus, so that people weren't going out to work and stuff. I think it's accumulation of many different things. Obviously, coronavirus being a hot and sensitive topic right now, they probably just went with that because instead of explaining, oh, well, from a business standpoint, we decided to do this, and now this is happening, and the coronavirus. So they just went with the easiest way to just sort of pull off the band-aid. But hey, you know what? At the end of the day, it's coming out physically now. It's all good.
Well, I think the bigger story would be that Take-Two and the private division is actually putting the health and well-being of the development studio ahead of releasing a game on time. That's a bigger story where they're actually concerned about their workers, and it's not just go to hell, get the virus, finish the game. You can die after it ships. They actually.
Well, I think wasn't it mandated?
Or they're doing it.
Wasn't it mandated in some
PR.
way that they were like quarantined? Like you can't, like it has to be shut down. Like I don't think they were even like allowed to, even if they tried to. Like otherwise
they could have exported it.
Got to send over Dr. Mario. He'll fix everything.
Dr. Mario ain't doing shit. Trust me.
No, there's like 30 other doctors in the Dr. Mario app. You can ask Dr. Roy, Dr. Peach, Dr. Bowser. They're all able to help. Hopefully.
When did they all get doctor?
Waluigi. Dr. Waluigi is the only good doctor.
Let's go over some super chats. Here we got Fish Fan saying RHT85, any video game news or rumors that you may heard through the grapevine?
Yeah, actually, there's a very cool game coming from WB Montreal that you're probably gonna get some details about very soon, and it sounds, if from what I was told, it sounds like a really cool game that I think a lot of people are going to like.
I like how you're beating around the bush and we all know exactly what it is because it's already been talked about on the internet quite extensively.
Yeah, but not the actual mechanics of it, more so.
Didn't the website have an exclusive this week talking about this game?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I didn't. Oh,
he's talking about Batman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was an article all about it. Actually,
it's
talking
from
about
the Gotham Express.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was about Batman. Yeah.
When was that?
The game that keeps getting teased and is really annoying. But Sean was talking about it before that article came out. So there you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
You were on it, Sean. You were on it. Man. Brendan Gray says, let's get this started. Kurt says, about to start Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Kind of scared to after hearing reviews. Huge Dragon Ball fan. I think you'll still have fun with it if you're a big Dragon Ball fan. Yeah. I think I'll have fun with it at least.
Dude, the remade cutscenes. Oh man, so they actually changed some of the cutscenes for the better, like the Piccolo's death during the Raditz saga.
Spoiler.
Everybody dies like 80 times.
Vanessa says, Phantasy Star Online 2, glad it's finally here. I agree. Hopefully like I said, hopefully the official launch is better than the beta launch, because that was pretty bad. Juice Man Vaughn says, what's up, OJ, John, Nate, and the crew? It's very cool to see my boy VC on here. He'll be successful because he's on the grind.
Thank you so much, Juice Vaughn. I really appreciate that. I do so much content, like live streams, like 5-8 times a week, videos 3 days a week. It's too much. So if any of you are interested, you could definitely subscribe and check it out. I'm also on OJ's P podcast with Jordan. No, it's always a great time.
No, you're not.
I'm not on that podcast.
60 weeks. What do you mean? 60 weeks almost.
Why are you? You're not on my podcast. What are you talking
I'm not even on that podcast.
Yeah, you're not on the podcast.
I must have woke up from a coma.
Then we had Rob the Butcher says, yo, where is Morpheus at? He was amazing last week. You guys should get him on again. God bless y'all for the best gaming podcast around. GG. Oh, he's talking about Shadow. Okay, got it.
Talking about Chatbox, yeah.
But then we had Venisera again says, you need to do the urgent quest to get the rewards. Okay, so I will do that because apparently this is still going on for a bit. So if it's going on till September 10th, I still have some time, so I will do those. I
just double checked. I do think it ends tonight.
Okay. If you're, I'll have to do it after the podcast then, just to see what I can do when I get done. Tesla Volta Game says, Theory Robotnik for Smash, reasons Japanese, Year of Sonic, movie, iconic, connection to Puya Puya, villain, and more. What do y'all think?
I would love that. I want Jim Carrey to voice him in there. That'd be great. Like all systems full power.
Is he a spirit yet or no?
I think he is.
Okay.
I think Robotnik's is.
There's so many spirits to try to keep track of. Okay. Cool. John Casanis says thoughts on Persona 5 Scramble and the future of Atlas games on the Switch. We talked about Persona 5 Scramble. We'll talk a bit about Atlas and their games on the Switch because they did a survey that we'll go over. Talk a little bit about. Jet Johnson says RGT Rants playlist is the stuff.
Thank you.
Happy Saturday, love you guys. It's from $3. Malice Talk says imagine someone remaking Mario Maker in Dreams. Somebody made Mario Maker in is that Little Big Planet?
Mm-hmm.
I remember somebody did make Mario Maker, and I feel like it was in Little Big Planet. That was I think last year where that happened.
So I'm working on a Dreams video right now. The game has been in early access for a year. People are making bonkers stuff now. I played SimCity inside of Dreams, a fully done, customizable, you can build different zoning, you can put power plants, you actually upgrade city parks inside of Dreams. It's crazy. I guarantee you, Mario Maker, if it's not in there now, it will be.
Joe says, am I the only one who plays PC games mostly on Shield TV via Game Stream and Steam Link? No, just me. It gives you the best of PC and console worlds. We'll talk a little bit about the GeForce Now stuff, but using the Shield TV, Game Stream, and Steam Link, that is quite a bit of a work there to get all that done. But I mean, if it works well for you. Corsonic says, I'm getting my first PC custom pre-built from Let's Build website, and it comes with a 2060 Super GPU, Ryzen 5 6-core 2600 with 16 gigabytes of RAM. That should do pretty well for you. 2060 Super should do pretty well there. Jeremy Novak says Sean ate too many raisins again. You're done with the raisins, right, Sean? You're good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm chilling with the raisin.
Are you never gonna eat raisins again?
No, I mean it'll be a while before, because like I remember I once ate Chinese food and got food poisoning, and I didn't eat Chinese food for like 10 years. I once ate Burger King and got food poisoning. I didn't eat Burger King for like 3 years, so I'll eventually come back around to it.
Just don't go by the fistful in the bag.
Yeah, like now I know, so I could be more careful.
You must have ate a hell of a lot, dude.
Careful.
Yeah,
6 cups of raisins.
I ate a lot, man.
I'm a raisin-holic. I have to be careful.
Here's one from Trepis and MVG. If you want to talk about your theory here, you feel free to. Anything about the Final Fantasy VII remake demo? Anything at all? It was my introduction to Final Fantasy, so I need this game yesterday. I'd like to think that it's out on Monday, but it won't be.
No.
I'm a little concerned right now about this demo, is what I'll say.
My theory about the demo is that it's for conventions only. So PAX East, they'll have it there and people will be able to play it and run through the game. But I don't think the demo is actually going to come out on the PlayStation Network. I think it's purely for conventions.
Oh, that hurt.
That's my theory. And hopefully I'm wrong, but it just doesn't seem like they have any urgency to get this demo out to anyone. So I think unless you're going to conventions like PAX, you're not going to be able to play this demo.
Well, yeah, I do think it'll be publicly released at some point, just because the end of the demo had a pre-order screen. So I definitely think that at some point it's supposed to be for
Does
public.
the pre-order screen act as a link, or does it just say it? Because if it just says
it says press doesn't it say I believe it says press triangle to go to PlayStation Store, but it didn't do anything because it's not listed in the PlayStation Store. Like the link didn't do anything, but
okay, we'll see, I guess, with that. Hopefully, I would love to see it release.
I do have a different theory. I do. Maybe they released the demo as like a timed type of thing about a week before the game comes out to kind of build up.
And the game got pushed, so like maybe we were even supposed to have the demo now. Maybe the demo got pushed with it. You know?
Exactly. And maybe they're adding a little bit more to it, and they want to do like. There's no point in everyone's going to buy the game anyway. Their pre-order numbers are probably insane. So maybe they're just trying to say, hey, like right before, like a week before, or so this thing comes out, it'll be here for a week. here's this. Or if you pre-order it, you can download the demo. Something like that.
What if they drop it on the original release date as like a way of being like, yes, you have one more month to wait for the game, but at least now you can play the game at least in a way, because the demo is pretty long. I mean,
Okay. Nate, were you trying to say something before?
I don't think so.
Okay. I didn't know if you were commenting on the demo.
What do you think, Nate? Conventions only, or do you think they're going to drop the demo?
I think they drop it on PSN. But now it's just a question of when. The original intended release was supposed to be the end of January to coincide with the original Japanese release of the PlayStation 1 game. That obviously didn't happen, likely due to the delay. So Max was saying they might have decided to delay it and they'll launch it on, March 10th was the original release date until the push.
Yes.
So that would be my expectation at this point. If it doesn't happen then who the hell knows?
Okay. Have we got a Discord question before you go on the topics?
I got a couple, because this one's kind of basic. Do you think the Switch could benefit from a fingerprint sensor?
That would be interesting. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, like a lot of phones have them now. I know, like the OnePlus has it right on the front screen. You guys just press the front screen for your fingerprint reader. I think it's kind of neat for logging in, but I don't really. I mean, I wonder what they would do with it in a game. We're gonna go ahead and record your fingerprint. Just go ahead and right there a couple times.
There was a game that did that, and I don't know. I want to say it was Splinter Cell Wii U, or maybe Batman Arkham City Wii U, where you had to use the gamepad and put your thumb on it, or maybe it was a DS game. There's a game that's used that before.
But did it get your fingerprint, or did it just go, "Hey, we got your fingerprint"?
It's telling you to do it. It's not an actual fingerprint. Like that technology is not built into the gamepad or the DS. So. I mean, I have a fingerprint scanner thing on my phone, but I just think that's kind of like a waste of money, like tech, to be putting that into something like that when you can.
I don't like the idea of it.
We don't even have there's not even a camera on the Switch right now.
Yeah, there's like no camera. I mean, there's so many other things that you could do. I mean, and it'll just make the system more expensive. I just don't think there's any need.
I mean, it doesn't have a microphone either. If you think about it, like the Switch doesn't have that either. It's interesting.
The DS had a microphone.
Ah.
DS right here.
Give us themes, give us save file management. Give us all that stuff.
Relax.
Forget the together and the microphone. Give us the good stuff.
Stop asking for basic needs.
I want folders for my games. I want to organize them.
I do want folders.
I think everyone wants folders. Do you see how many games end up in your library on the Switch? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that just builds there, and it just sits there in the bottom of your collection if you have it in most play time, which usually that's what I have it at. And you see all the games that you just had sitting there for the last 3 years that you haven't even touched. And it's like, just put those in a folder.
Is that like the number one request right now by everyone? Is just a way to
themes or folders?
Themes and folders.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I want themes. Themes is important to me, but I don't care about folders.
The thing that's crazy about themes is you figure they would tie that into pre-orders for games or something. Pre-order a game and you get like the Breath of the Wild 2 theme or something.
3DS,
I would like if they allowed you to use your snapshots that you take as backgrounds for themes. That'd be nice. Simple. It's already there. Just make it an option.
Interesting.
Yeah, that would be nice, and that would be really cool.
Well, we're coming up on the 3-year anniversary for the Switch next month, less than a month. So
crazy, dude.
Are we really?
It's not happening.
Crazy.
Yeah, 53 million or 52 million.
I mean,
sold?
I assume that that means that would be halfway through the life cycle of the Switch, then, right? 3 years. So.
Roughly.
Maybe they got a big update. I don't know. I got a big update in mind. Let's go over here to Kickstarter, because this was an interesting topic last weekend, right? Where we talked about the Kickstarter, Sean and Jordan, for Wonderful 101.
Sure did.
Okay.
Yep. Sure did.
Yeah, I mean, did anyone really doubt that they would be able to raise the money? I think I feel like most people thought they could raise at least $1 million, but then they show up and they said they only needed $50,000 for the Switch port.
Okay, so let's be honest. The game was already completed, or just about completed, on the Switch. The Kickstarter for the 50 grand was never about anything other than gauging interest on how much the PlayStation 4 version would take, and really that's what it comes down to. The 50K thing was that wasn't really anything. It's really about the PS4 version.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yep.
The PC version too.
Yeah, I think that whole Kickstarter was mostly for that PS4 version, right? That was like the big thing they were doing it for.
What I think is interesting about all this is that they actually spent some time, money, and resources to actually port the Switch version behind the scenes and have it ready to go before they launched the Kickstarter. And I think that's an interesting kind of gamble for them, especially considering that the game didn't do very well the first time around on the Wii U. But you got to give them credit, man. Like, they came to this Kickstarter and, man, they made so much money on this thing. It was unbelievable how they did this. That they crowdfunded the game that literally no one bought and played on the Wii U. So I think it's a very smart tactic that they took this time around. And I think a lot of other companies are probably looking at this thinking, you know what? Maybe we should consider doing something like this. Let's kind of get a game ready behind the scenes and then crowdfund it, even though the game's almost done. But then let's crowdfund, getting it out to a bigger audience with, the PS4 and the Xbox One Series X and all that stuff. And I think it's a very, very smart, marketing tactic that they did.
Yeah, it definitely was smart.
It's smart in that I think if more people start doing that, it would change the face of Kickstarter. I think a lot of people right now are very unhappy with Kickstarter, especially this last couple of years, because so many of the projects, like, you get a cool trailer and you don't see the game for 3 or 5 years or whatever. So I think if we started to instead see games that, like, hey, here's the trailer, here's our goal, and if we even hit the minimum goal, we'll immediately have, like, some playable version of it. I don't know. I think that would be a future for Kickstarter I like to imagine.
It's currently at 1.493 million, so it's $7,000 away from its final stretch goal, which is 1.5 million.
No, there's one more after that. There's another one. 1.7.
Oh, they added another one.
Yeah, they added another one. Which there's a special remixed soundtrack with a special guest.
Okay.
So
okay.
That's the next thing.
I wonder if they'll add another one too to go to 2 million. I mean, they have 26 days left.
Maybe. I think they will. I mean, because like the 1.5, that was important to hit because that's the 2D side quest with Luca. So that's awesome. I like that. I don't know what the music they're gonna do, but if you've played the original, the music in the game is fantastic. So if they're gonna remix it, I mean that's dope. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Okay, that'll be interesting. So yeah, they raised it, no problems there, and this is one of 4 announcements they have. They have what the Platinum 4 is what people are calling it. This ended up being one of them. So they still have 3 more announcements left, and there's a lot of people wondering what those other 3 would be. Whether it's maybe a sequel to a game, like maybe Nier is going to get some kind of new entry into the series since the last Nier game was so successful. Maybe they do something with another IP, like they've teased Okami in the past. They've teased that.
Yeah, they teased Okami. Yep.
It makes you wonder what they could do with those other announcements, and if one of them maybe is one of their new IPs, right? Because they got that funding from Tencent. And with how prepared they were for Wonderful 101, I almost wonder if they already have their new IP already figured out and they were just waiting for that funding.
So why aren't they making an Xbox version of this game?
All right. So do you want the straight up truth? It's probably because they know it won't do that well.
Well, that too. It definitely won't do well either sales wise, but same could be said possibly for PlayStation, because like many people were saying all over Twitter when it was announced it was sent to the PlayStation 4 for that certain tier and the stretch goal. Oh, who's going to play it on PlayStation 4? It's like, who's going to play it on Xbox?
But PlayStation has a huge install base. Like the install base is massive though. So that's the biggest difference between it is like there is, and Japanese games generally do sell better on PlayStation than Xbox. That's
in Japan, right? He has like the PlayStation has a good install base in Japan still. So it's like the Xbox has just over 100,000 in Japan.
I don't think the Japanese install base for Wonderful 101 consideration was ever factored in, considering it sold 5,000 copies on the Wii U.
Well, that's true, but they also, they also didn't even release a physical copy of Nier on the Xbox.
That's true.
That was just digital.
Yeah, but the thing with this Kickstarter is the Kickstarter was originally supposed to launch in October. It was delayed due to all of the stories and reporting coming out around Dangan, who was the Kickstarter campaign manager. They still are. They are the non-priority people that they put on the Kickstarter that they won't name because they don't want people to associate Dangan with the Kickstarter due to everything that Ben Judd had been doing in Japan. So this was delayed 3 to 4 months. So originally during interviews back in September, Kamiya did say there was going to be a PS4, Switch, and an Xbox version along with the PC. Microsoft does have certain guidelines for releases. And one of the guidelines is it has to have either like the same day and date release as the other versions, exclusive content, and so forth. They have a lot of various rules. The odds are that the Wonderful 101 did not comply with those rules, and the Xbox version was scrapped.
Yeah, what rules are you talking about? What do you mean various rules? I don't get it.
Microsoft dictates certain things for Xbox releases that the publisher or developer has to follow. It could be you have to release on the exact same day as us, and in this case, the Switch version is probably coming out first, and Microsoft would say, well, then we don't want the game.
And it has to run on 5 consoles.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things. Microsoft has a lot of rules in the background.
Not wrong.
That's true. It does have to run on
It's to run on 5 different consoles.
Well, Platinum did say in their, I mean, maybe this was just like the stock, default answer, but they did say like, hey, they don't want to stretch themselves too thin with porting to other systems as well. So they did put that on their Kickstarter. Like when there was a question like, well, why isn't it coming to other platforms? Like, they didn't mention Xbox particularly, but they just said, just overall, like, why does it come to other platforms? And that was their answer to that. So, but yeah,
it was something they originally intended, but back in September they were planning it when the Kickstarter was supposed to launch in October. During that time frame, clearly something dissolved in talks.
So I want to hear a question about the Kickstarter, if you don't mind me asking. Since basically most of the game, the base game remastered, is done for Wonderful 101, the Lucas side mission and everything after that, is that already done as well? Because I was thinking the Time Attack is probably done, but the rest of the stuff, I feel like that's going to be DLC, I thought.
I don't think the Luca mission's done at this point, because they said that all the stuff that's after it's DLC and backers get it for free. So I don't think they're going to have that Luca stuff done day one.
They'll deliver it down the road, yeah.
Well, they have it dated for November.
I want to hear Sean's take on this, because Sean's been very quiet about this, and he was very vocal about it last week. So let's
so was Jordan.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I mean, my stance is exactly what it was. They did not need to do a Kickstarter for a Nintendo Switch version because Nintendo was more than willing to foot the bill for it. The Nintendo Switch version of the game obviously is already done because $50,000 ain't gonna get a port done for a game. There's a lot of game developers who I saw on Twitter were very disgruntled with the Wonderful 101 Kickstarter only being a baseline goal of 50,000 because they felt that that's what people are going to take into account whenever people start to, talk about porting games. Well, if it only costs a development company $50,000, why aren't all these games being ported to other systems then if it's so cheap? So I still stand on by what I said. Like I said, if people can do whatever the fuck they want with their money, I don't care what they do with their money. Just for me personally, I was not interested in backing this Kickstarter because I didn't think it was needed. I still think Platinum is a big company. They have over 200 employees. They've raised a hell of a lot of money. You got to see their beautiful office space that they have that they work in. So, it was just something that they probably didn't need to do. Now, were they maybe doing it for pre-order stuff? More than likely, it's just something to show that, there is faith in the game. But I really think that a majority of people who backed the game backed it for the Switch version. I would love to see a breakdown, and I'm sure
that'd be interesting.
I'm sure we'll see it after the fact, but I would love to see a breakdown of how many people pledged for a Switch version of the game versus how many people did PC or PS4. Because I think the Switch version, I think the Switch version will crush those.
Yeah,
I would
like
say
90%.
It would probably
like 90%.
It would probably end up being
100%.
after the fact because I think they're gonna have to send out their what do you want this on emails at some point here.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. They'll know then when everyone responds. Do we want the Switch PC?
Yeah, because
version.
I backed a physical copy, but they didn't say what version it was for. So I guess you get close.
Yep. So they'll send it to me, and I got to choose do I want to Switch or the PS4 because the Pro's got 4K. They're doing 4K support, but then the Switch, 1080, 60, and portable 720. So
I'm getting it on PS4, but I'm probably going to be the only person getting it on PS4.
And then I thought about on PC because I got the 144 hertz monitor. So I'm like, wait a minute, you get that really high frame rate.
Don't worry, Dreamcast guy. Silver in the chat has a PS4 pledge. He says
he's the chosen one.
Yep, the chosen one. Well, Drew McIntyre is the chosen one, but we'll talk about that in a
Where are people getting it on PS4? There was a little bit of outcry back when anytime a Platinum Games title is announced and it's not on like PlayStation, you know, like there are fans out there that say, oh, well, why isn't this on, you know, PlayStation? I mean, I saw it back in 2013. People were kind of complaining, you know, here and there, because it's Platinum Games. You know, Platinum Games has a big fan base on PlayStation. So
especially when it's a game that good, like if you can't play it, it's just that kind of like, well, I want it. Like I have a game console, I want to play it.
Yeah. Jordan, you're being very quiet right now. I know there were some strong opinions from you last week. They raised $1.5 million in 5 days. How do you feel?
Yep. I think Sean said it best. You know. Okay. I think that's exactly how I feel about it. Like, I think maybe last week it kind of got misconstrued that like I didn't want this. Like, you speak with your money. You're allowed to do whatever you want. I'm not saying this like 100% shouldn't happen and no one's allowed to do it. It was just more on like Sean's point that they're a large company, and I just don't think this is maybe the right way to go about it. But you know, it's funded and it's funded quite well. So happy for them. Congratulations, Platinum.
Okay, there you go.
Wow.
All right then. There you go.
Oh. What do you think about Sonic games, though, Jordan?
Oh, now let me tell you about those. Those are, you know, they're game.
Let's move over to Animal Crossing. Jordan, you're in the Animal Crossing scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're ready for that game, right? Mm-hmm. This is gonna be the first Animal Crossing that I've really played, on a home console, because technically the GameCube was the last real one I played, and I didn't play a lot of the one on the 3DS. I played a little bit on the DS, played the Wii a little bit, but like the GameCube was it back then, right? That's what I played it on.
Yeah.
Here comes Animal Crossing New Horizons. Are you excited, Jordan?
Extremely.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it as well. Were you kind of kept up to date on the situation that's been kind of changing and developing when it comes to the save, like your island being saved and all of that?
Yeah, I've heard a bit about it. I wouldn't say I'm the best versed in all the technicalities about it. So I mean, I would want cloud save data for any issues or certain things that happen to your Switch, or if you were traveling and stuff like that. So I'm not 100% sure what the what's the newest news. I heard that they may be working on something. Is that true, or is that not true?
So here's what's happening. It's moved around a bit, but they updated their page on the 6th of February, so just a few days ago, saying that they were considering a way for you to be able to back up your island in the event that your Switch is lost, stolen, broken, anything like that. I guess rendered just unable to be turned on, right? So a way to back it up. I think the problem they're running into, and MVG, this is, I think, a good question for you here. The save game for Animal Crossing seems to be treated differently from the other save games. Why did you put the Dollar General in the background?
He's running to the store real quick.
Okay.
No, I had a pea and I couldn't find a pea picture, and that popped up in Google.
So you just typed in yellow and just went? Like, all right.
Okay. Anyway, the save file, of course, one island for your entire Switch. So all of the profiles are connected to this one save. And the way the backup works is it goes by your profile and it looks for the saves you have, because you also have to be subscribed to the Nintendo Switch Online service.
Of course.
Would that be a reason why they're like, well, we got to come up with a different way? Maybe it's in the game, like in the game, there's options and it's like back up your island, and it like they have a different way set up for it to back up.
I mean, technically, no. I mean, I think there should always be a way to back it up and you know, and preserve that save file. But I mean, they may put something specific into the code to stop that from happening. But the whole situation to me sounds very strange. Like they're intentionally doing this for that reason. And look, I think hopefully they will go back on that a little and relax the restriction and allow you to, you know, to back up your save file appropriately, because I think the way it is now is, man, it's going to be one of those things where they're going to be fielding support questions, you know, trying to figure out how to help people. And I heard stories about this with the older games where like they literally wanted like proof of people's like, you know, I lost my 3DS or I lost my GameCube or something. And they wanted like information about what happened and police reports and all this crazy stuff, you know.
Show me your original receipt.
Yeah. So hopefully, you know, they'll come up with a better situation here, you know, for this.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Nate, you thought that you thought that possibly they could have something to maybe announce at some point, and that this got out there a bit abruptly because it was on the back of a download code out of Germany, I believe. So it was, translated, and people started to figure out that there was one island, it was tied to your system, and there was no backup at all that you could do.
I mean, they basically have said as much that they are going to have a solution in place. The problem is that there's too many unknowns to come to any real conclusion right now. Is there a limitation on how it can be used? Is there a limitation in the amount of uses it will have? And that's where let Nintendo deliver the message on their own terms. Let them talk about this feature on their own. Instead, we have a lot of knee-jerk reactions. We have a lot of these videos saying, oh my God, Animal Crossing is doomed. You don't actually have any details yet. Yep. So it's like, let's see what happens first. If they come out and the game launches and Nintendo says, it's locked to the system, you can't transfer it. Even if your system blows up in front of your face, it's still tied to that system. You have to start over. Then we can critique them then. Right now, it's all premature.
Yeah, I saw people, some people put years into the 3DS Animal Crossing. That's a little concerning if it's just tied to your system and that's it. Because I guess on the 3DS, it was tied to the cartridge, right? So if that 3DS dies...
They eventually introduced an SD backup.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
They eventually did that for the 3DS game.
So the thought is that there will be some way to in some way. It would be weird to work backwards.
Yeah, right now they put out the statement out of the Nintendo UK website where they did say you need Nintendo Switch Online to take advantage of the solution we are working on that we have not yet detailed. And it is, if your system is theft, stolen, broken, or whatever, you will be able to recover. Now it's just a question of how is that going to work, and that's where let's see the game release and Nintendo talk about the feature.
Okay.
If it sucks, then we can say this was a bad solution. It's good, then we can say it's good. Right now, we simply do not know.
Yeah, that's gonna be wild because that is gonna be a very fast selling game. The game's gonna do really, really well. So I assume they would put some resources into figuring that out. Wouldn't you say, Jordan?
Yeah, I'd also, going to the issue with it only being one island no matter what you do, that does kind of suck in terms of large families, right? Who may share a Switch and everyone wants their own island or their own game.
Yeah, because there's somebody in that house is gonna ruin that island.
Right. So for me, for example, it's only me on the Switch, so I'm not concerned. It's not an issue for me, but I do see where it can be an issue and why it's a little bit annoying. So I wish some of this stuff would be fixed, that if at least for the general public who may be having that issue. I mean, I don't have any current issues with the game, but I understand what the current issues are for other.
Yeah, that was my thing. I made a video on it, and it doesn't affect me personally, but I could definitely see how it affects people because there's families that have a Switch, and Animal Crossing is definitely a very sort of family game. And I don't think you would want if let's say it's a dude, his wife, and 2 kids or something like that, brother and sister or something. If I'm the brother, I don't want my sister playing on my island. I don't want my sister messing with my stuff. I don't know. It seems like a weird decision. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in that, but it just seems sort of unnecessary to some degree. I get it, but at the same time, I don't.
I got a little bit of a different take on this, I guess. If I
go on,
just I think there should be the option, but I also think because there's I think it's up to 4 players on the same system. And I think that they're adding in a bunch of really cool stuff to where it's a huge island and they want to encourage people to play, and it wouldn't be a problem. You have your own piece and you can do what you need to do when it comes to the island when you're, it's almost like asynchronous or whatever, right? And all of a sudden there's also the stuff that's built up when you're not playing. Usually if families, if they're already playing multiplayer games, if they're already sharing a Switch, usually they're pretty good with sharing when it comes to, for the most part. A family's going to be good with sharing, and they're going to want to play games together, and they're going to work together in that way, even if you have a douchebag little brother or sister. So it seems to me like this might be a little bit of a
when Animal Crossing got turned off, that memory card came out of that GameCube and that thing went away.
I guess
they were all over the place.
So some people like to work together. So I'm just saying, for some families, if people can't, if it's just they need to share, I think this might be a good thing. It might actually encourage them to actually play together while everyone's playing. Hey, if this person's playing, well, you just join in right there and play.
I was oldest
of
of 3, and we all had the same memory card. So for me, like, I understand now that technology's developed, but at the same time, I mean, to be honest, like, I don't think it's gonna break the game. It's not going to be like a make or break for a lot of people.
No,
it's going to be a little weird. I don't know. I feel like, again, it's just people like being upset to be upset.
You know, it's a smart way to do it. That's a smart way to sell more systems.
Exactly. That's legitimately probably what it is.
You can buy another system. You want another save file? Buy another.
Usually, so
Yes.
Animal Crossing is primarily a single player experience, unless you go online and you visit a friend's town, and that's how it's always kind of been. And I don't really see it as a game that you would sit down and play with family or with a bunch of people in the same area, unless, because we haven't seen all the mechanics. So here's my unless, right? We have a lot of new crafting systems, so maybe the more, like, if you have 4 players together, you can work together to build something that you couldn't otherwise build by yourself.
See?
Maybe that's the particular reason. So we haven't seen all that. So again, I give it the benefit of the doubt of maybe there's a reason. Like OJ saying, there has to be some sort of reason that they're doing it like that.
We don't know that.
We need that
Animal
direct.
Crossing Direct, right? Animal Crossing Direct.
So they can explain why they tell us there's local co-op.
Yeah, my thing is, I just don't like it because it's less options. I guess that's my thing, is that if I have a friend who comes over and I want to show them the game for like 30 minutes, and they're like, oh, I want to start a new file to see the opening cutscene or something, like, they just can't. I don't know. That's what bothers me, is just whenever something can't be done in a game I've paid for. And I also do wonder how this will affect families. And I am always curious about, like, if you have, I definitely talk to people occasionally where they're like, yeah, I have a Switch and my kids share a Switch, and it's totally fine for them because they play a lot of stuff co-op. I don't know if there'd be a time where somebody would ruin an island or something. So I don't know. I'm curious how it actually turns out. I don't think it's good, but I don't think it's worth a boycott or anything.
Okay.
I just feel like some of y'all never grew up like on a budget and had to share a memory card with your siblings, and it shows.
Yep. Yeah.
No,
Like, that's just me.
I didn't have
Animal Crossing came
Well,
with
if
a
you're an
memory
only
card.
child, who else is sharing your Switch? I'm genuinely, are you getting upset for other people? Like, I feel like we're getting upset for like the very small minority. I understand.
Hold on, Animal Crossing came with a memory card, though.
Some did, not all. And granted, there's also people who bought used. People who were on a budget, again, who bought used from Blockbuster.
Ms. Clegg, no, you're definitely, people are getting upset for other people, because most of these people that are getting upset have their own Switch, and they're going to play it by themselves. But they're complaining for somebody that they don't know, or for somebody that possibly could have this. That's happening.
Edition Switch, come on.
There's nothing wrong with complaining about that, though.
No, the people, the
but
people on a budget aren't buying the Animal Crossing Switch, though. They're on a budget. They can't afford it to get Switch just to get.
But if you're already sharing the same Switch, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're already sharing it, like, why are you surprised though? Like, it's always been like that, unless you had multiple memory cards.
Hey, the PS2 memory cards were expensive back then. The GameCube ones weren't as bad. It was hard to find PS2 memory cards back then.
I think
there was the great PS2 memory card shortage. I remember that.
What year
was
that?
bad.
I think
How much were they?
2002.
You're fudging right. I remember. I couldn't buy a damn memory card.
Dude, they got up to hundreds of dollars. They ended up going from like $50 to like $200 some odd dollars.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah, it was crazy.
I had a buddy who had like 5 memory cards that he just bought at launch, and so he would actually lend them out to people because you just couldn't save. Literally, I had to borrow a memory card for like 3 months from.
That's why the Xbox was so weird when it came out, because it had a hard drive in it, and I was like, wait, you don't need a memory card to save? This is weird.
Yeah, that was cool, man. I thought it was futuristic.
Yeah, right. You could rip CD, music to the hard drive. It was nuts.
It was. The Xbox, the original, it was like basically the basis for all like systems going forward. Like with the features it had. So
when it comes to the Animal Crossing saves, like, it would be nice if we could at least have it system transfer. At least if you can't back it up, all right. But the system transfer thing is the thing that annoys me.
Yes,
what if you wanted
definitely.
to buy the new Animal Crossing Switch? But you can't buy it right now. You want it down the line. You can't system transfer, which is unfortunate.
That is, it's interesting. They want you to buy another Switch, and then they don't want you to be able to transfer. That's odd.
But that's the translation, though, right? That hasn't been necessarily confirmed.
I bet you that's what they're trying to figure out anyway. Like, that's probably the biggest thing. Like, wait, we want to sell them another Switch, but they can't transfer it to the new Switch. Let's figure that out.
The UK site basically says it.
It does say that technically, right? It says you can't. It says you can't transfer. Yeah, that's why everyone's a little like. Wait
that I understand. The single island per Switch, like I get it. You can be upset. And someone in a chat said, "Don't police us on how to feel." You can feel however you want, sweetheart. You feel away. You want to go cry about it? You go. Hey, what you do in your free time is not up to me. You do you. But yeah, I mean, if it's transferring between systems, or God forbid, something does happen to your Switch and you want to transfer it, I get it. Listen, that's valid.
But that's what they're working on. That's what they said they're working on a solution for in those cases. They just haven't detailed it yet because they don't have a release date.
Well, we're jumping the gun.
And that's the thing. If let Nintendo come out and detail the solution before we already attack them on not giving something that they said they are doing.
No, I'm attacking them now.
The reaction is going to be, how dare you do this thing that you're actually doing, but you haven't given us details for. Let's wait for them to detail it. If it sucks, at that time we could say, Nintendo, this sucks. Make it better. Right now, we don't have any information.
But is it possible that solution didn't exist until they realized that everyone wants to be able to transfer their island?
No. We saw the commercial. They showed the title screen. On the bottom of the screen in the commercial, it says transfer on the bottom of the title screen. So it exists in some form. They just have not detailed it. But that's YouTube. That's the internet. We have to knee-jerk a reaction because we didn't have the answer immediately instead of waiting 12 minutes and finding the answer. That's what the culture is becoming. Oh, you didn't give me every detail right now. I have to immediately critique it. Oh, well, we were going to announce it tomorrow.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate on this part. When does the game come out? And roughly
March. Oh, yeah.
Like a little over a month and 2
12
weeks.
days or something.
Don't you think you should know basic things about
you should. Yeah.
But at the same time, they've been keeping it under wraps. We haven't got a director anything.
Then they probably shouldn't have updated any of the stuff then.
Yeah, like if you're not going to give out the information and you're going to make people speculate, I don't think you should get mad at people speculating because they don't have anything else to go on. People want to know what this game is going to entail in terms of things like islands, in terms of things like cloud saves, in terms of things like cross-platform saves. You're roughly a month from the release of the game and people still have all these basic questions. Never mind the fact that there's still probably a lot of information about the actual game itself to talk about, but I feel like people deserve to know. I mean, people are going to be pre-ordering this game. People that only buy 2 or 3 games a year or something like that are looking forward to this game. I feel like the information should be out there, especially a month away from release.
I mean,
there's a difference between speculating of, well, is this going to be the case, and people making videos saying the game is doomed. That's not speculating.
Right.
You're now jumping to a conclusion, and that's what we see.
And there are a lot of extremes on everything, on every topic in the entire world. So you kind of got to find the middle ground. But, I don't see many people, at least, people that, I don't know. I honestly, I don't watch much video game stuff on YouTube anymore. I just watch weird random stuff.
You watch
a lot of it is toxic. A lot of it is
clickbait.
crisis.
Yes.
I watch Nintendo put out the statement. Everyone can go to the website and read the statement. It's clear. It says, however, However, the ability to recover Animal Crossing New Horizons save data from the server in the event of console failure, loss, or theft will be available to Nintendo Switch Online members.
Okay, there you go. How do you prove that your console was stolen? Well, you send them the police report?
We don't have the answer for that. That's where we don't
answer.
We can't jump to the conclusion yet. They haven't detailed it. Is there a limitation in place? Is it just going to be I can transfer it every single day to my other system and it doesn't matter? We simply do not know. So the knee-jerk reaction shouldn't be this solution is going to suck. We don't know yet. Let's see what it is.
Well, I think that's the reaction right now is either put that into the game, like the actual backup feature, or detail it.
Yeah,
we're like a month out.
That's the whole thing. People want information on how it's going to be handled, on how it's going to be. Like what about that grandma who put like 900,000 hours into Animal Crossing? Like, what if her little thing? Imagine if your grandma put all this time and effort into Animal Crossing on the Nintendo Switch and then lost everything and couldn't get it back. Wouldn't you feel bad, Nathaniel?
Wow, you had to use the grandma card.
Yeah, you're gonna use the grandma card? My grandma doesn't know what video games are.
But if she did.
My biggest concern is the cloud save, and only because I do own 2 Switches. I have my Switch Mini that I travel with, and I have been traveling a lot lately, and then I have my big one that I record footage with for videos. I don't like the idea of my Switch, Nintendo, or my Animal Crossing Island will have to live on a single console, and I'll have to just decide the day I buy it, is this going to be the thing I play on the go, or am I going to play it only at home? And I don't know. I just don't like the idea of that.
Yeah, and
we'll see what they figure out, though. I'm definitely not judging it. It's a month before release. Let's see what it is at launch.
All right, then. There we go. Yeah, we'll have to wait. I guess we're getting a direct at some point beforehand, but we're like a month out.
Yeah.
So
hopefully next Thursday.
So put some respect on grandma's name, bro.
I love this guy. Misclick Island Destroyer.
I just said I will hack and destroy all your islands.
Do it. It's Hurricane Click.
Let's move over to the PS5. The PlayStation 5 website went up, and it sure doesn't sound like there's going to be much coming this month, right? MVG, you posted that on Twitter too. It says we've begun to share some of the incredible features you can expect from PlayStation 5, but we're not quite ready to fully unveil the next generation of PlayStation. Sign up below to be among the first to receive updates as we announce them, including news on the PS5 release date, PS5 price, and upcoming roster of PS5 launch games.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can like look into this 2 ways. The first way is they need to push back a little bit on the original kind of dates they had in mind, which I don't necessarily think is true. The second one is, they've heard so much talk about when is this thing happening, and they've heard rumors, and even people that were insiders back in the day like David Jaffe was talking about February the 5th. So I think they maybe came out and just made a statement saying, look, we hear you guys, we're almost there to reveal this, but just hold on a little longer. So I think the message was pretty smart from their standpoint, but yeah, I definitely think that there's nothing coming in February for the PS5. I think it's going to be later.
That's sad.
It literally could be a couple of weeks before E3. We don't really know when they're planning on doing it. I think
that's gonna annoy the PlayStation family.
Well, let me ask you this, MVG. You really think Sony is going to risk potentially not having a PlayStation 5 event before GDC?
Oh yeah, I mean GDC is towards the end of March, right? So yeah, I mean I would like to think that they will have something before GDC. I think that's probably the target, but we don't really know what that message means. I mean, I'm assuming that they're just kind of mitigating all of the talk and the innuendo and rumors that have been going on, but it could also mean that look, we're not quite there yet with our games. We don't really have anything to show yet. Give us a little bit more time and we'll have some games to show you guys. And so I'd like to think before GDC they'll have the presentation, but it's Sony, man. We don't really know, where this thing's going to come.
When GDC happens, right? A lot of people, like developers, are going to see what's going on with Sony and the PlayStation 5, right? Like developers are going to see that behind the scenes there.
Well, yeah, it's a big convention. I mean, it's a big event for developers, publishers to really meet with Sony one-on-one, get more information about the PS5, probably some launch details and such. But by not revealing it before, or let's say the week of GDC, the chance of leaks increase.
Yeah, that's what I say, because once you start doing that, all of a sudden people leave there and they go, "Hey, look what I saw," and they show like these pictures on their phone or something.
Yeah, so I mean, like if there was any truth to any Switch Pro happening in 2020, GDC would be the time where you'd actually have a concrete leak, because Nintendo would be meeting with the developers and briefing them on such a release. So with PS5, Series X, Lockhart, that is usually when the new wave of leaks occur, is right around the time of GDC, because that's when everyone's getting new documentation. So it seems odd for Sony to kind of take that gamble and not do a PS5 reveal ahead of GDC. but they don't necessarily have to do it either. They're in a very unique position right now.
Remember, that's what happened two GDCs ago, 3 GDCs ago. People were actually just talking in line at GDC of, oh yeah, if you go in that room over there, Sony is showing this thing called the Switch, the PS4 Neo. It's going to be a more powerful PS4. Do you remember?
Sorry, that was a good slip.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. But people were literally in line talking about the PS4 Pro because Sony was just telling everybody. It leaked like months early at GDC. So I think if there is a Switch Pro, it's going to leak at GDC.
Why don't we go over to Evan? We have a Discord question.
Yeah, we got a few. Now that all the DLC characters for Fighter Pass 1 are out in Smash, which one out of the DLC characters would you consider your favorite character to play? Guess it's only for a few of us.
That's a good question for OJ and
specifically the DLC.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What do you guys think? OJ, Miss Click.
Wait, what was the question again? Say it one more time.
The DLC characters for Smash. Our favorite of all of them.
We mentioned it earlier, Violet. We talked about that a bit.
That's so weird. You said Byleth?
I said Byleth. Yeah,
like Kit, Byleth. Like the way they play, like I love the flow of the character. I'm really
out of all the DLC characters, what's our favorite?
Yeah,
the question is.
But like accomplishment, I don't know. I feel like Banjo, like just for the sake of saying we have Banjo again.
Yeah, but if you look at the views on the video for that trailer actually has way less than all the others. So that's the only thing. It's one of the most requested characters, but when that trailer came out, no one cared.
Banjo's not hip with the kids. That's the reason why the trailer is not. You know what I'm saying? Banjo's just not hip with the kids.
Byleth's hip.
Byleth is actually relevant.
But at the same time, it's so weird. At the same time, though, but Joker was like a great moment in general because you had like all eyes on it. You know what I mean? So
that was a big deal. Yeah.
From a marketing standpoint, Joker. From like a look ma, no hands kind of thing, if that makes sense, I would have to say Banjo. But like for me personally to play and to enjoy and like kind of crave playing Smash more often, Byleth.
Yeah, I echo what Miss Click says. Joker for just like the moment. Joker's a better character. Joker's really good. He's one of the best characters even after the nerf. And I'm much better with Joker than I am with Byleth. But Byleth is just, he doesn't feel broken like Joker can feel at times when you're using him. And Byleth is just fun to use. He just has all of his moves. And if you've played Fire Emblem Three Houses, his character makes, I don't know how to, his character makes more sense than Joker. Because Joker can use a bunch of different, personas, and he can only use Arsene. And you know what I'm saying? In there, he can only use Arsene in Smash, but Byleth can use all these different heroes relics. So it just feels, I don't know, more like a Smash character and just more fun. But Joker by far for the moment and like how good the character is, and like everybody was watching that, and they just dropped out of nowhere too. With Joker, it was just like bam, like here you go, Joker.
You see the red screen, and you're like, what? Yeah.
It was at the Game Awards too. It was like Game Awards, and then he just dropped out of nowhere. Byleth was like, this is it was just anticlimactic, I guess, a little. But Byleth is just a fun character to use.
Yeah.
Right.
If you didn't have such a fun kit, I would have a few problems just because we do have too many sword fighters. Even Sakurai said it.
Yeah.
We have another Discord question over there, Evan.
Do you think the xCloud will have a single price when it launches, or do you think Microsoft will introduce multiple tiers where they charge more for better quality or next-gen performance?
I think their best bet is to tie that thing into Game Pass Ultimate. And just try to have I feel like they don't want to have multiple subscriptions, like a bunch of them. I think they just want one that you pay for Game Pass, xCloud, and everything.
So I don't think they're going to 4K.
I think they're going to start out 1080. I don't think they'll start out 4K, but I think they'll try to kind of push everything together, and rather than have a bunch of weird like tiers and figuring it out, I think they want it to be simple. So Game Pass Ultimate, which is what's used on PC, will probably get that. So that's my thought anyway. I don't think they want it to be complicated. So let me go through some of the super chats here before we move into a few of our final topics. Aiden Quinn says, yes, Saturdays are made for dads and dad's car. Joe says, first time ever for a super chat on any YouTube stream, period. Love you all and look forward to this stream every week. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Joe. Moonman Moose says, John, can we hear about your new office space? So proud of you. And Spawnwave is an awesome morning show. Yes, I'm actually finishing setting up like the basics for it, the necessities. So internet, all that stuff's done. Desks are set up. One room is almost finished for Newswave. Then I got a few others. We're gonna probably do a video on like a little office tour thing for it too, so people can see it. And I'll probably be recording some videos there this week coming up anyway.
Yeah, we gotta test the audio in the Newswave
probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff coming up. So you will see some of it pretty soon, actually, as we've been going back and forth getting it set up. But it's nice. It's one big room and then two like smaller like recording rooms too. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good sized area.
Dude, I'm so excited for you. Honestly, as soon as you sent those first pictures, oh my dude, it's such a freaking good setup, man.
Rad1 says, do you think Prince of Persia trilogy remaster would be a financial liability for Ubisoft? I know they had money problems, but I'd love to see that on Switch. So like the Sands of Time, Warrior Within, Two Thrones, do a trilogy of that, like a compilation, and just release it. That would be awesome. I would love to see them do that. I don't know how much money they would make from that, but I would like to see it. I think it'd be really, really cool.
Not much, dude. You and me would buy it and no one else.
Well, if they made it cheap, I feel like when it comes to remastered collections, if you make it $30 or less, they sell like hotcakes. It seems like anyway.
They should split them up. That's what they should do. They should just split them up in individual SKUs and just sell them. They could even have, sell them for, would you say 15?
15 each, I think it's fair. Yeah.
Is that what we said? Yeah, okay, yeah. So like, because I would really push for people to buy Sands of Time. That is a very good game.
Sands of Time would be great on the Switch with the rewind mechanism as well. I think that'd be really cool.
I would love to see that game on the Switch, or just in general brought up. Trick. What?
I'm not even talking about the best Prince of Persia game.
I said Sands of Time.
No, that's still wrong.
What? What's better than Sands of Time?
You're about to say Two Thrones.
What the hell's that?
I don't want to hear the PS3 one.
The first one by Jordan Mechner that played on the Apple II back in like 1980.
I'm talking about.
You're about
are you talking about the Cell Shaded 2008
Oh
one?
No!
Yeah,
the one that destroyed the series.
Yeah.
Do you know how?
No, the movie was
the awesome Prince of Persia.
I pull games from my wall. I don't own that game because it sucks.
I love that game.
Do you know what they said after doing Sands of Time? We got to make a bunch more of these. You know what they said after making Prince of Persia? This has to go away for a while.
You know what? No, they made on the same team on this. We win.
They made another one, and it was based around the movie. And
I will say this though: that 20,
I don't even count that one.
That 2008 Prince of Persia, it could. All they have to do is adjust it a bit. That could have been good if it was actually like a real game. Like if they actually made challenging combat and stuff like that instead of just like a guided experience. It could have been good because like the graphics are awesome, the controls are okay. They're not like laggy or unresponsive.
Story's good too.
The story's good. The platforming's all right. Like it's not like there's a bad game, but the problem is the structure. The structure's like they went way too casual with that, like super casual.
Yeah, you can't die and.
Yeah, like all this nonsense, like the ending's trash, like it's just cliffhanger. I mean, like it's just, but the gameplay is solid for what it is. But I don't know the decision to make it super casual and not make it.
I forgot about that. I even forgot about the movie tie-in one, Jordan. You're right. I forgot about that completely.
There was
I'm a big Prince of Persia fan. I know him.
What about the
Sands of Time was the best one?
The horrible DS one.
Man, okay.
I like that one. Prince of Persia Tactics. I have that.
Yeah.
Trick says, love the show, guys. Hope you all have a good one. Thank you, Trick. Mike asks, any of y'all going to be at PAX East this year? I think Nate will be there, right, Nate?
I will be there with
Jordan will be there.
Yes, I'll be there.
Jordan will be there. We got two people on the ground there.
The hopes were high. Next year.
Oh yeah,
next year.
We got timestamp guy getting us footage if we need it, John.
Oh, there we go. See, we're in. We'll be at too many. I will be at too many games though. I think a bunch of people will. So
yeah, I'm gonna be.
When is
there
that again?
May?
June.
June 15th or 16th. It's something around there.
Yeah, it'll be like the second half of June.
Marking that down.
Yeah, I'm watching the Euro Cup.
I'll be there.
That'll be fun. Yeah,
you won't even go to Evo, and you're gonna be there.
Man, Evo, you bunch around. Well, hold on, I ain't gonna talk. What? Hold on. Evo's different. Evo, I ain't trying to. It's in a place that I'm gonna get in trouble. I might have some issues with the ladies. I'm not even gonna put myself in a bad position.
All right, okay. I didn't know ladies was an issue. I thought you had that issue. finished. But
I'm just saying, I'm not gonna put myself in a bad position. That's all I'm trying to say.
It's
In Vegas.
Responsible.
Yeah, it's like Ninja. I can't be around these women. Well,
Whoa.
these women.
women,
Streaming.
respect women.
Capital A.
Brad said I righted the wrong of not viewing MVG's channel this week. It's a good choice.
Good for you, man. Good job.
I enjoyed your stuff, especially your series on console security as a cybersecurity major.
All right, man.
Very nice.
Keep watching my channel. I've got some good stuff coming up.
Yeah, that Mario video was good. That Mario video turned out really well, man.
Yeah, I really like putting that one together. That was fun. That was a good one.
Terrence says, when will Game Explain be part of the SpawnCast? Do you think they would be a good addition? I do think they'd be a good addition. And yeah, we'd be happy to have someone from Game Explain on. Absolutely. I think Nate knows a few of them. So
I know literally everyone there.
Okay, cool.
Wow, ain't you fancy?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. Just
You
bow tie.
wish you were as fabulous as me.
I know. Tell me where to buy bow ties.
Wear a bow tie.
I do actually picture you like showing up too many games with a bow tie kind of.
Bow tie
you should have seen him last
He's
No.
cosplaying.
No, I definitely do not do a bow tie.
Okay. All
You
right.
could. Oh, I don't know what you look
definitely
like,
does
so
the
I
vest.
can't.
I do the vest.
He
I don't do
does the
bow
vest.
tie.
Does anybody
the best
chat know
guy.
what Nate looks like? Because it's driving me crazy.
Jordan knows. Jordan knows.
Hans Gruber.
Jordan's the only one?
No, he looks like Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
and,
How do you spell Gruber?
No,
Hans?
and Bob Wolfden also.
And yeah, Bob
Bob
Wolfman.
does too.
I know what Nate looks like.
I'm going to ask Bob if he has any pics.
I do.
See, I'm gonna walk around PAX East. I'm
going crazy.
That's the closest picture of him.
No way. You're a boomer?
One day Nate is actually going to turn his like webcam on the podcast.
no.
It's
Yeah,
just
For like a split second, and no one's gonna notice.
It's going to be the Mark Zuckerberg face tracker again, like what Ted had.
Man.
If I could get that to run properly, I probably would do that.
Yo, Nate, man, you that JoJo boss, man. That golden wind, that hidden boss in JoJo. Man. Nobody knows who you are, bro.
Justin says, Spawn, what's your 1 rep max on bench? If I told you, no one would believe me anyway. That's what I've learned with weightlifting on the internet. Unless you take the camera into the weight room, no one believes you anyway.
I thought you were gonna say
you can say anything. What?
I thought you said if I told you I'd have to kill you. I thought you were
Oh
gonna say
no, no, I've learned that.
Crush
Don't
your
matter.
head like
You
a
can say
walnut.
whatever. You can say any number. Don't matter.
I could sit on
it
a
is-
bench and eat lunch.
It's significantly more than my body weight. That was the goal. There you go. OJ, this is from Terrence. OJ, what are your thoughts on the status of Bayo 3?
My thoughts on the status of Bayo 3 is that it's going to be announced this year and it's going to be free, or it's going to be like revealed this year, and it's going to be freaking amazing.
Yes, we were
freaking
just talking about
amazing.
this.
Yes, it's gonna be, and I got a video coming up on that next week where I've been working on that video, researching, putting everything together. I did one a little bit ago. I already have like everything, but I've been doing a little bit more in terms of what I think is going to be in the game, some speculation and just some my own impressions of stuff, just based off of from 1 to 2 on 3. So yeah, I'm excited.
I hope I don't want to like obviously like take away the view time on your video and everything, but I don't have a video on it, so I have no like stake in said. But we were literally just.
I'll watch your video.
I don't have one. Okay, but what I was gonna say, freaking Bayo 3, dude. We were just talking about like it's been 2 years ago, right? That they showed the trailer at Game Awards. So over 2 years ago.
3.
And her freaking legs. Yeah, but her legs just get like chopped off. Like they're just dismembered legs. Dude, I honestly hope that for Bayo 3, her butt just gets kicked the majority of the freaking game. Like I hope her butt just gets kicked.
Yes, I also want that for other reasons.
No, not like that. No, you stop.
With some fantastic voiceovers.
I think I'm interested in Bayonetta now.
You stop. Okay, her legs just get cut off. Oh yeah, baby.
I assume that's going to be.
It's like, oh yeah, you had
The
no
Dreamcast
legs.
guy was
Let's
into
go.
war. Damn.
No.
Can't run now. Oh god.
Oh no.
I assume that's going to be in the direct soon. Something about Bayo 3.
It's probably at the very end or in the beginning. Be like, oh crap, that's actually coming out.
This is says maybe no Xbox version of Wonderful 101 because of the mess with Scalebound? Question mark.
Yep, I agree. That's
Some bad blood there. You think still? Because I heard.
I don't think it's related. I don't think it's related.
You don't think so?
This is business, man. This is not personal. This is business. So I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with Scalebound.
There's no
No,
bad
it's
blood
worse.
between the companies. This is just a fictitious tale. People on the internet like to tell themselves when a game doesn't come to the platform.
Like they funnel the Nier Automata money to all their games too. I've been hearing that rumor, and it's like people really believe that. I'm like sources, and then they don't even.
Yeah, some nobody says it'll be a bad port that doesn't support 144 hertz anyway. Oh, for Wonderful 101, I'm hoping it hits. It has a lot of support for different PC options. That'd be nice. We'll see. When they do that. This one's from Overthink Gaming. Says, should Hancock get a second chance for false striking Smash JT and Dave?
I talked about it in the chat.
Okay.
I answered it, but just for if anyone else, I think what he did was fucked up. Like what John Hancock did was fucked up. Like striking channels over using his picture. That's kind of why I made a joke about it earlier. If people want to give him a second chance, that's on them. If people don't want to give him a second chance, that's on them. I mean,
we're not exactly arbiters of that.
Yeah, I definitely understand both viewpoints. Like if you want to forgive and forget, that's cool. If that sours you on him and his content, that's understandable too. I think that's pretty much what it boils down to.
By no means should anybody ever copyright strike somebody for a picture. That is, in my opinion, that's worth getting booted off the platform. And I'm like dead serious.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that shit.
Like,
don't ever do that. That's so stupid, and I can't stand people who do. I'm not trying to like put hate towards him or tell you guys to go, but like that's bullshit, and that should never, ever, ever happen. And YouTube
criticism shouldn't be
silent. Doing that. No, you can't for a picture.
Yeah, no, legitimately, but like the ulterior motive was to just get criticism off the platform by doing the only thing that could be done at the time because of YouTube's broken system. And what he did was a false copyright strike, and it was also illegal. And they could, the people he did it to, D-Dave and Smash JT, they could take him to court for it. For what he did. It's legitimate, and I feel bad that their channels were affected and that they had to go through this. And I don't know too much about anything that's happened afterwards, but I mean, I wouldn't trust the guy personally after that. I think that's pretty scummy to do. That's like the one cardinal sin here between YouTuber to YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never really watched John Hancock, but I heard about all this news this week, and now it sours me preemptively. I don't ever want to watch John Hancock now. Like somebody who do something like that is just it's ridiculous.
Should never be done. That's so horrible to do to someone.
Well, yeah,
I would never. I mean, we all of us here, we've had our videos literally taken, ripped apart, thrown in there completely, like way more footage, and I've never levied a copyright strike on anybody for that.
I've had people do full reactions to my videos.
Yeah.
Like when I did the Sonic demo video a while ago, someone did a full reaction. It was like 20 minutes of him pausing my video and be like, "This guy hates Sonic," and then he'd watch for like 2 minutes of my video, like he said the wrong word right there. And it's like, I'm never gonna copyright that or take it down. And I'm like, okay, that he thought that was a good idea to do with my video. It's free country.
And all I will say is every week I will have a thumbnail of Sean on the
taking you down, you bastard! Copyright, baby.
That's my promise to YouTube. Every week, Sean will be in some sort of weird monstrosity on my channel.
Can you use the raisin?
I'm gonna have to start charging you for that, dude.
No, great. It has to be for free.
No, I love it.
Damn it.
I'll give you pictures to use. That's fine.
Sweet.
I'll start an RGT folder.
There you go.
Wi-Fi says, can Suda and Grasshopper crowdfund No More Heroes 3 then?
No, they're actually
Stop
making
it. Come on. See?
I mean, at this point, who can't? Like who
EA
can't?
EA can't. You can't have them do it. That's for sure.
Well, yeah.
No,
but
listen. I'll break my own rules. Skate 4.
Oh no!
Okay. I mean,
you know what?
Kidding.
Wait, I thought last week you said you wouldn't break the rules.
That's the joke.
You know what? I would
Joke.
actually buy into if they had it all figured out. I would buy into another Tony Hawk Pro Skater game.
I wouldn't.
really? You trust them again?
But if Tony Hawk was able to go to a different developer,
honestly, I thought you were gonna say Ape Escape. Just for the record.
Like if he just showed up on Twitter and was like, "Hey, if you guys really want another Tony Hawk game, I got this developer. I got all this stuff figured out. You guys."
If one of the perks was I can go shredding with them, then I'm down.
It would have to develop. It would have to depend on the developer.
Yeah, I mean, like if it was like if it looked all good and it was on the up and up and everything, and it's like, you know, we're gonna do this, I'd say, you know what, let's take a look at this, 'cause I think I'll buy into this. So
did I ever tell you I stole Dr. Pepper from Tony Hawk by accident?
You did not.
Yeah, years and years ago, he had a house in Arlington, Texas, and I lived in Dallas at the time, and I'd worked like a 24-hour shift or something ridiculous at Waffle House, and I got off work and I'm trying to buy a bunch of groceries, and I'm in line, and there's all my stuff coming up at the conveyor belt, and they're like bagging it up, and the cashier was like, "There's a famous person behind you," and like everybody in the store was like freaking out. I turn around and it's Tony Hawk, and I'm so exhausted I can't properly like express how cool it is that Tony Hawk is standing there, and I just picked up all the bags that were there and left, and I realized I stole his Dr. Pepper.
Oh no!
The whole reason he was in line for the Dr.
I love Tony Hawk, man.
He had like cleaning stuff. He was grocery shopping too.
Yeah.
He'll never kick flip on.
He gets home, he's like, "Where's my Dr. Pepper?"
Dude, what if that's haunted him this whole time?
Yeah.
You might
that one guy.
You might get a tweet from him.
You might have to tweet him, dude.
I have a screenshot. I actually found it. He was replying to a bunch of YouTube comments one day, and I actually told him, "Hey man, I actually stole your Dr. Pepper in 2007 or 8." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I was buying that for my kids. I do remember it missing." And I was like, "Oh no, he remembers." But he was like, "I don't care. It was Dr. Pepper for my kids. They probably shouldn't be drinking it." But I screenshotted it.
So some nobody said held off buying a Switch for Pro and Animal Crossing.
I mean, now you can get the Animal Crossing edition if you like it that much. But
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how long you should wait. Don't hold your breath.
If you're a big Animal Crossing fan, I imagine that Switch Animal Crossing
That could
edition
sell
is
for
pretty
a lot.
good.
You think?
Yeah.
Even
think-
afterwards? Like that
I
would
think
hold its value.
Oh no, I do. I think you might as well pick that up with Animal Crossing, especially if you
Yeah.
are like a big Animal Crossing fan. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good,
I pre-ordered
they
it.
obviously they put some time into that special edition. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
It looks good. Nobody says remove features, recycle content, charge subscriptions. Pro held off buying. Okay. Wi-Fi says in case of confusion, Suda used TSA as funds. Travis strikes again.
Oh.
Like as funds, I guess, for the next game.
They made money off that game?
I mean, I can't imagine it costs a lot of money to make it. Like when we were playing through it, you got
That's
that
true.
feeling, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I couldn't finish the game because it glitched on me.
Juice Man Vaughn says, please boycott it, Animal Crossing so it can sell 20 million copies.
Good plan. Good plan.
Good pen. Yeah.
That's fair.
It worked well for Pokemon.
Some nobody says correct failure to inform the customer. Nailed it.
Oh,
thank you. Well, maybe a direct will come along. There you go. An Animal Crossing direct, man. Come on, Nintendo Direct. Man, what's that? It's about time for one, right?
Nope.
It's about time. It's about
Sure.
space.
All right,
Next year, baby.
Next year.
Usually like
83.
18th, yeah.
Will says misclick is the dark version of Doshin the Giant.
What?
What the fuck?
What?
All
I
right.
don't get the reference.
Yeah, neither do I.
I wouldn't. I mean, Doshin just look up Doshin.
I know what the game
Why don't you just link it to me?
What am I? Your servant?
Yes.
Sacon 10 says thoughts on Evo lineup. Lol at no MK11.
MVC2, baby. I'm psyched that it's back.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad MVC
That's like
back.
that's gonna be my favorite thing. I'm gonna watch that for sure.
No Mortal Kombat 11 though.
And they're using Dreamcast with the HDMI mod as well. I was talking to one of the.
They're using the Dreamcast HDMI mod.
Yep.
Because it's the most perfect version. It's like
it's the Dreamcast version is the tournament standard for fighting.
So let me
MVC2.
tell you guys this: if you don't have the HDMI mod on your Dreamcast, it is amazing. So everyone should get it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like this,
I will not solder it for you though.
They're selling like hotcakes right now because everyone that's going to compete in that is like trying to get the HDMI mod for the Dreamcast so they can.
I have it.
train for
I have it. It works. It looks really, really good. But it was a pain to install. It was worse than the Nintendo 64 one.
Dude,
that was pretty bad.
That big concert is happening in Phantasy Star Online right now. The one that they said there's like a digital pop star. It's happening right now.
Hatsune Miku's there.
Yeah,
I thought it was really funny when I walked down to the shopping district. They had the trailer playing for Sonic the Hedgehog the movie.
Yeah,
the Sonic Hedgehog movie. I thought that was really funny. It was like on all the TVs in like the shopping district.
It looks really low quality.
Yeah,
trying to see like 480p Sonic.
It's like 144p YouTube. It's like, oh, that's where that went. Okay.
Misclick. That's Doshin, the giant. So
I'm the dark version. I'm sorry. Do you see me?
Maybe he's
sorry,
maybe you're talking about that Photoshop from Twitter where they put on like a giraffe and everything.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Who knows? We'll go with that.
That was a good one.
Would Alcatraz says, would you guys ever have Metal Jesus on? Yeah, sure. Yeah, Metal
Jesus, of course.
Metal Jesus.
Metal Cheez-Its.
Oh, that's Doshin the giant.
Cam says Prince of Persia cell phone was awesome. JK on the flip phone. Hey, flip phones making a comeback. We got those screens that fold now. They're coming
Why
back.
is that? Why? Who asked for that?
The Razor came back.
Evolution of phones. We went to just straight up glass on the front because and you can't bend, so they got to get rid of flip phones. But now we're going back because they can bend.
Yeah, but we also like people
It's
just want to
dark
flick
magic.
stuff.
Yeah, but it flips open into one of these, and then if it's not, it closes.
John, I'm still waiting
It's
for those
dark magic,
concept
we
phones
know.
we saw with the retractable glass where you
How
can pull it up
impressive
and
is
it's
that?
just.
That's so cool though if you think about it, because it closes and it protects the screen, which is
Haven't they
generally
been
the one
breaking them?
downfall of this. Well, I mean, eventually it'll get there. I wouldn't buy it now.
No.
Yeah. The
buy it
first
now.
generation's dangerous. Yeah.
Let's get a couple years in, okay? Then
Yeah.
we'll look at them. Well, let's let OnePlus make one, okay? Then we'll look at it.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah. Totally.
Let's go to Ryan says thoughts on a revised Switch Lite with video out. I don't think they'll ever do that. I think Switch Lite will just stay as the handheld only system.
Right.
I don't think they'll ever do anything with that. Steven says, do you guys think Pikmin 3 Switch would have an online mode?
No.
No.
It's a cool idea, but absolutely not.
Maybe Pikmin 4.
Cedric asks, you know what? I just realized I've never said this name out loud. I just read it whenever I see it on screen or in the manual even. Vise from Skies of Arcadia is cooler than Cloud.
I thought it was Vice.
Vice, there we go. I've never said it out. I just realized that. I'm like, that's a character's name I never said out loud or even had to think about it.
He appears in the first of the Valkyria Chronicles games as a playable character, and I think they say his name, and I believe it's pronounced.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And,
I've never heard his name being said. I thought it was Vice. That's what I said too. But yeah, I don't know that game. Did they say his name in that game? Because I played and beat that game, and I don't remember them.
Well, he was one of the optional characters, and I think he said his own name when he was doing one of his attacks.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but that seemed to be what I recall.
But
he was obviously an optional side character.
Well, yeah, you can use him, and you can use I think it's Aika or
I can't remember.
There's another the girl with the ponytails with the you can use that girl too. Yeah, the boomer. Yeah, so.
Anyone? Massera says, anyone get the GameStop email saying what's inside the PS5? It basically said all the same information we already know. 8-core CPU, ray tracing, all of that. So it was pretty straightforward. I don't think there's anything brand new in that email. Chartube says, Mega Man Battle Network rumors, thoughts?
I love Mega Man Battle Network. It's one of my favorite Mega Mans, and I've been hearing rumors since last year about it. So hopefully it comes true. I'd buy it day one. All the games, all of them. There's like 6 of them, and there's like different ones in between. Because after like Mega Man 2, I believe, for Battle Network, they started doing it like Pokemon, where there'd be a white version and a blue version. They start splitting them. Even if the split versions, I want those 2 in the collection.
That'd be a pretty large collection.
Yeah, I'd pay $60. I'd do that. Even if it's not on the cart. Capcom barely does that, but I'm down.
Well, the only news on that was that they were like they hear the fans
exploring the idea.
Yeah, exploring, and like there would have to be something new. Like there'd have to be something.
There could be stuff
different.
happening behind the scenes, though. We don't know.
No, there could. I mean, it's Capcom. They say all sorts of stuff. At one point, I mean, I remember they did that with what was it? Mega Man's like, oh well, we don't have it in development right now. And
Mega Man 11,
yeah.
Or even the collections for the Switch.
Yeah.
Remember when they were saying, "Oh, well, we're not working on it," and then like a little bit later, like, "Oh,
Yeah,
here's
like
Mega
a month
Man.
later, 2 months later.
Yeah,
Everyone needs to
Legacy
relax.
Collection.
We need Mega Man X9 first, okay?
Is this a new
X9 would be
rumor
dope.
about Battle Network, or is this the old rumor from last year that it's a mobile game?
They were
No,
talking in an interview kind of recently, right? A few weeks ago, I think, where they had mentioned that we're looking into everything, and we hear that people want Battle Network, but we got to do something with it. Yeah.
Well, because last year there was the rumor they were making a Battle Network for mobile.
Oh, that'll go over really well.
So
No,
It'd
we
be
mad at
such a
that.
pain getting all those little chips and having to pay microtransactions for them for all the best ones, the Super Saber Sword and all that. It'd be, they can definitely do microtransactions like that, but it won't be fun.
Mega Man Boycott Network.
Russ says Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection, yay or nay? I'm gonna say yay because I like
Yay.
the Mega Man Zero collection, or just the collection of the games on the Game Boy Advance. I wasn't as big on ZX, but I'll give it another shot. But I will
Let me
definitely
tell
pick
you
that
about Mega
day
Man.
one.
Yeah, I like
Day
ZX.
one picking that up.
ZX is good.
Okay, yeah, I like the old school Zeros on the Game Boy Advance, so I'm in for that anyway. I think
But it's so funny, Jordan.
I'm not the one laughing.
Oh,
you kind of are too.
That's the Nate cackle.
Tesla
already?
Tesla Volta Game says, with MVC2 coming to Evo, do you think Capcom is bringing out a port/remaster? By the way, I got a DC HDMI and picking it up Monday from installer. It's gonna look good. It's gonna look really, really good, and they build Wi-Fi in as well. But with MVC2, do you think Capcom's bringing out a port or remaster just to platforms now? I hope so. I think it'd be cool. Do MVC2 remaster?
I don't know. Like,
No.
yeah, I don't know.
Was it just for an anniversary or something they did this for?
I think so, yeah. And it's invitation only, so they're bringing back some of the big killers from the old days, like Justin Wong and all the big kind of MVC2 players. It's going to be really fun to watch, but whether they actually remaster MVC2, I mean, I'd love to see it come back. I mean, I think that'd be really cool. I mean, it's definitely probably the most popular game in the franchise, but the MVC2 games, especially lately, haven't been selling very well. So, maybe this is a way to get back to that, the glory days, but I don't know. I don't see it.
Let's finish up over here with a Discord question. Evan, do we have any more?
We got, what is the most underrated and disregarded game that you like?
Oh, geez. Windjammers.
Star Fox Zero.
More people need to like Windjammers.
Odyssey.
Windjammers is a good one, but it's probably, I don't know, there's probably something else that's better.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories on the GBA and Jackie Chan Event GBA.
Sorry. Chain of Memories.
I like the GBA version. I'm sorry.
Is it good, VC?
I personally liked the card switching and all that into the GBA.
No, I meant the
version.
Jackie Chan game.
Oh, that game's really good. That game's actually, I actually just got it on my my GBA emulator. I'm going to be probably streaming that sometime eventually, so I can't wait. It actually looks much better on the emulator than it did on GBA. I looked at it and I'm like, wow, that looks way better than I thought.
I'm gonna say Grandia. I'm still so obsessed. I own every version of all the Grandia games in every region. I still think this might be some of the best RPGs ever made, and they're just so forgotten. It's like so baffling that this didn't blow up to the size of Final Fantasy. And whenever I talk to people, it seems like 99% of people have no idea what the hell Grandia even is. So they made like 5 of them. So it's so.
Oh, some nobody says most underappreciated is Ogre Battle 64.
Ooh, good pick. That's actually the last.
good pick.
That's the last one I need for my Nintendo 64 collection.
Chameleon Twist.
You know what? This game's on the 360 PS3 game from Sega. Binary Domain.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah.
You said Alpha Protocol wrong, but that's okay.
Sorry, real quick, was I muted before when I was?
No, you're good.
You're
I
good.
was good. Okay,
Yeah, you're good.
I was wondering just because I've been clicking that and typing, and there's times where like I'm thinking, am I muted at this moment? I'm talking. I'm not. But sorry to interrupt. But one thing I do want to mention is Star Fox Adventures. I did like Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube. That and Assault, very good games. I would love those remastered on the Switch.
We did have some Streamlabs from last week as well, Evan, that I wanted to quickly go over. Then we'll finish out very quickly with GeForce Now, MVG, because I know you're familiar with it and I liked it. And it basically buried Stadia, so we'll quickly touch on that before we finish up. Ian says we should get a crossover of Pokemon Snap and Fatal Frame. That would be interesting.
All right.
It's interesting combo.
All ghost Pokemon.
That could just be a level in Pokemon Snap. All ghost Pokemon.
It could. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's
Right?
actually damn.
Damn, that's like a great idea. Damn you for
You're welcome.
giving me this awesome vision that's never going to become reality.
Right.
That was from
That's like my
Ian.
life.
That's what Kickstarter's for.
Ian.
That's what Kickstarter's for. Let's go kickstart it.
I know. Yeah.
How do I kickstart a Pokemon IP?
I'm gonna kickstart Chameleon Twist 3.
Just
$1, everybody. $1.
I mean, it worked for Temtem. They kickstarted a Pokemon IP.
Temtem Snap would suck.
Matthew Hammond says the history of Mario Sunshine is interesting. Nintendo rushed it for holiday release. Might be a good game for a remaster where they actually complete the game.
Yeah, it might actually be good.
I mean, what if
Too
they
bad they
did
left
do
that part out.
What if they did do a remaster and they fixed up some of the things people don't like? It could get.
They need to fix a
second life.
lot.
All right, then there we go.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's not even going to be the same game. So, I mean, may as well just not brand it Sunshine. That's a great image.
Yeah.
By the way, he spent 20 minutes making that. The I gotta pee over an already existing
Is
image.
that what all the typing was? Is he'd make a typo and then delete it and retype?
He didn't know if P was one E or two E's. He had to figure that
It's
out.
really funny that
He had to
it's
text a
directly
friend.
over the California raisins. It's just
Directly.
how did that take so long?
And Jordan, here's a good one for you because it's for movie, it's movie related.
Oh,
It says,
okay.
what's your favorite movie trilogy of all time, and why is it Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Ooh.
I mean, this great trilogy probably wouldn't be my favorite, even though 1.5 of these films suck. The original Jurassic Park trilogy is still my favorite.
I was thinking it'd be the X-Men
If
trilogy.
if I watch one, I want to watch all 3 back to back. So I just love them so much.
Which one do you hate? 3?
Three,
Lost
three is,
World.
Lost World is half good. There's a lot of dumb in that movie, and the third one is just a giant mess, but I still enjoy it. I'll admit it. I'll be the first to admit it.
Then we had Shadow Hearts series for PS2 from Russ Britt for underappreciated games. That's a good series too. And then
Bring
Joe
back the
says,
bouncer.
Joe says, thanks again, you all. Please consider rating Camelot 331. He's about 100 away from hitting 100K subs. His channel has helped a lot of gamers.
Is that the GameStop guy? Is that a different Camelot?
No, that's him.
Camelot 331. That is him. Okay. We'll rate Camelot to help him over that milestone to the silver play button. There you go.
Yay!
Let's finish up here with GeForce Now. MVG, you played it in beta.
Well, I mean, I have a Shield TV, so I've used it over the year. I mean, GeForce Now has been around since like 2015, so this is not anything new. But for some reason now they've decided that they're taking it out of beta and they're kind of pushing it, which is cool because I've always thought that the service has been actually pretty good. But I'm interested. Did you like recently test it out? You said you tried it out, and so I want to hear your thoughts.
Launched.
I haven't actually looked at it in about like literally 18 months, but every time I tried it, I've enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It was a solid platform, and it's good to see that Nvidia is pushing it now. My worry is that Nvidia has this thing where they'll push something for like 6 months and then they'll just forget about it. So hopefully, they'll give it some.
Well, what's interesting about this is they're treating it different than Stadia. They can kind of forget about it and it would still be fine because it's not a full storefront and everything. It's just a service. So the idea here is you turn it on, basically you launch the app, it then launches Steam and you pick the game you want to play, and then it fires up one of their a system in their data center that they're using that apparently is running an RTX 2080, by the way. So it's giving pretty good visuals as more as it can over streaming.
You're getting ray tracing as well, right? I'm assuming.
If you buy into the Founders thing, which is $5 a month, and they give you 90 days up front for free, you do get ray tracing. I tried that with Quake 2 RTX and it works fine. It's still, it's not as like, I have the RTX 2070 Super in this computer. It looks better still because it's local, but the ray tracing effect is there. So if you're someone who's like, what's all this stuff about ray tracing? Let me go try it. You can literally try it and get the effect at least. You can see what all the
That's
all the
pretty cool because a lot of people, you'll hear like the marketing buzz about ray tracing, you'll see some screenshots and you'll say, oh, that render looks great, but unless you actually get to play the title with ray tracing on. So you're kind of trying the experience out before you're really committing to it. So I think that's actually a very smart move by NVIDIA to do that. My other question is, though, do you need NVIDIA hardware to use GeForce, the GeForce cloud service, or can you just kind of use it from anywhere?
You can use it anywhere. You can use it on phones even. It got launched to phones, Android.
Oh, did it?
You can use it right on your phone.
What?
That's good to hear, because I mean that was kind of the biggest thing I had concerns about, was they were tying it to the the Shield TV and kind of the NVIDIA hardware. But now that's anywhere, I think that's definitely a smart thing.
And here's the other thing. They have a free version. So you don't even have to sign up and pay. They have a free version where you get, basically it's hour sessions. So you get to basically borrow one of their systems for an hour to play, and then you have to log out, log right back in. But yeah, you can technically try these games out on high-end hardware without paying. It just streams. So if you're, I guess, away from home or something on a trip, and you're like, I want to play, I don't know, Doom on your PC, you can just borrow one of their systems. It's really cool. I gotta say, it's better than Stadia. Like one
thing I want to mention about the GeForce though is that I have a friend named Tether Gaming, and they put GeForce Now into his Switch. He modded it in, and it's so cool. He's got Destiny 2 running on it. Like, it's insane. So I'm thinking of getting a new Switch to do that.
Sounds like a video, MVG. Sounds like a video.
I may get in trouble if I do those types of videos. So we'll leave that one alone, I think.
Get a knock on the door.
Yes, it's pretty cool. People can just go. That's the best part. I don't have to tell you to go buy it. You just go check it out. Like Stadia, I had to be awesome. That's the first thing I did with Stadia. I was like, this cost me $130.
Well, you know how they said that Stadia needs to finish, number 2, above Amazon and in Microsoft.
They might be in last place.
Yeah, I mean, now Nvidia's in the mix all of a sudden, pushing their service, so they may end up like in 4th or 5th place by the end.
I'm gonna tell you now. People have to decide if they're re-upping their Stadia stuff next week.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing it either. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah,
that's it with Stadia. It feels like it was a waste of $130. I'll be honest.
Yep.
I'm shocked. I am shocked.
Utterly shocked.
Sean, here's what I want you to do, Sean. Okay. Try out GeForce Now.
Is it free?
It's free. You don't pay anything. You go there, they give you a tiny little app you download, and that's it.
All right.
Here's the other thing. They got Fortnite. They went out, they got the free-to-play games and attached it to it. Why didn't Stadia do that?
Because Stadia obviously doesn't know what they're doing.
What is going on? Yeah, all right. Yeah, so basically anything you have in your Steam library, you play. Anything free to play, you can play. Straight up.
And optimize if you don't want to spend the time like doing all the settings yourself, they'll optimize your games for you. It's actually really slick. I used it back. I think I was using it back when it first came out too. I mean, I haven't talked about it much, but I've been using GeForce Now PC back when I played it more. It's really good, but yeah, Stadia's trash, dude. Like, it's really they don't know what they're doing.
Barrel trash,
and they're honestly Google, and they're really cocky. Like, I think that's the thing that it really what shows right here is that they're cocky. They're really cocky because they go and they hire all these big wig executives, and they say, "Oh well, if you want games, you should be asking the public." It's like, oh, okay. You show us MatPat, you show us no hate against MatPat, but you show us all these people. You put all this presentation together. You have that dude Harrison or whatever. You have the Jade lady. You have all these people or whatever, and then all of a sudden you come with no games, and then you continue to deliver no games, and then I'm sorry.
During the reveal, their first words were the Google head came out and was like, "I'm not a gamer, but we want to try and make something that gamers will like." Like, that's not a good
worst way to start it out. Worst absolute way, dude.
Let me put this turd on the counter. All right, let's just move from there.
Yep. So Ryan's correct though. I'll be trading in all of my Stadia games in on Monday.
Oh man.
We can do that, right?
Can you do that?
Are we allowed to do that?
Take your Chromecast to GameStop and see how much they give it.
They'll give you less than GameStop would do.
It's got heat sinks on the outside of it.
The controller is cool. That's about the only redeeming fact about Stadia is that the
controller is cool. That one color too. What was that color? Like wasabi. Yeah, I think it's wasabi.
Wasabi.
Oh, sorry.
Let's finish up here. Eric says Heart of Darkness on PS1. Juice Man Vaughn says Breath of Fire 5 Dragon Quarter.
Ooh, Heart of Darkness is a legit game on the PS1.
Yeah, that game is really good.
Cool.
I think I own it and the strategy guide, and I've never played it.
Some nobody says.
I recommend a Dreamcast guide. It's good.
Presume NVIDIA doesn't hate humans like Google does. Okay, I'll finish up with that. Let's go around here as we finish up. Evan, do we have any more Discord questions? Are we good there?
We have a couple. Mostly, it's what ports or remasters would make your eyes roll if they go to the Switch? That's one of them.
Eyes roll.
Yeah,
so,
like something you wouldn't
expect.
you really wouldn't respect coming to this
they would
system.
Mario Sunshine.
No, that's what we need. Even I have it
Now
on
it'd
the
be
GameCube anyway.
Resident Evil 4 Special Edition. They just re-released it again.
Right.
But with the motion controls though.
Red Steel. If they bring Red Steel back but take out the motion controls, I'd roll my eyes because why?
I liked Red. I liked the first Red Steel. I'm not gonna lie.
It was fun at the time, but
Yeah,
now-
it probably aged horribly.
like just how you had, you have to remember you had to run over and flip tables and you have to actually go like this with the fucking nunchuck. It's so dumb.
I would say Mass Effect. I would say Mass Effect 3 and not the other two
Oh
games.
man, they just give you the third one.
And not the first two. That'd be horrible.
But they only gave you Andromeda.
All this sacrilege of Star Fox Zero in the comments.
Well,
Come
Star
on.
Fox
I
Zero-
talk positive about Star Fox Zero, and people just hate on it.
I like the game. You know,
Listen,
yes,
it's no Star Fox Assault, okay?
And
so
Yeah,
therefore,
Assault and Avengers are better.
Nate, that's our next discussion for next week.
Evan, we got another Discord question.
And we just had a guy wondering if he should get the super special edition of Wonderful 101 on Kickstarter if there are multiple versions.
Ooh, the super
Yes.
special edition.
If you have the money for it, do it.
yeah.
What do you get? Is that the one where you get blocked?
You get blocked at like $100, I think, and then everywhere upwards in the tiers, you can still get blocked. But just here's a keychain. Oh, here's some stick.
I mean, I got blocked and I didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah.
Literally, all you have to do is speak English to Kamiya, and he'll block you. Like he literally says on his page on the pinned comment, "Please don't speak any other language besides Japanese." That's basically what it says.
Yep. I thought you would have to pay money to get unblocked, but I guess not. Yeah, I guess they just block you.
Maybe in the $5,000 tier, maybe.
I think there's something to where he might unblock everybody, his whole block list. There's actually something on there.
Is
about
there
that.
really?
They ended up walking
Boys,
that
I'm
back.
back.
No, they ended up
is
walking
funny.
that back. They said it's
Oh,
only
they
for the
did?
people who donated to that tier will they unblock.
Oh,
So
he,
Sean, you're
just
still blocked.
he just unblocked me for free, Sean. I don't know. I'll ask him, and then he'll block me immediately after I ask him if he can unblock you, Sean.
It just seems like Google Translate or something. Just translate in Japanese.
There was some interviewer who said that he went into an interview with Kamiya and he blocked him at the start of the interview, and the interview went well, and he's like, "Congratulations, you may now tweet to me again," and he unblocked him.
He's taking that into the real world, man.
That's not like blocks are not weaponized.
Evan, are we any other Discord questions? Are we done?
We're finally
All right.
clear.
That's everything for episode 149. Let me go around here. MVG, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at modernvintageg and YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer, and I got a cool video coming out on Monday as usual, so stick around for that. Thanks for having me on the show.
What about OJ? Where can they find you, man?
Yeah, you can find me back here on YouTube fully, just in time for Black History Month. All right, so I'm back on YouTube.
Calculated.
Just in time, so you guys can follow me right here. I'll be my streaming's back, so my stream will be coming back to YouTube finally. We're gonna have some cool giveaways.
When's that stream? When's that first stream back?
Yeah, tomorrow. I'll be
Man, I feel so betrayed.
24 hour?
I don't know about a 24-hour. We'll see how long. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be doing videos all week and streaming all week and all sorts of stuff. We're gonna be doing a Switch giveaway, Switch Lite giveaway pretty soon here. We're gonna be doing a Fighters Pass giveaway and also eShop card giveaway. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Got a lot of cool stuff. So check out the channel. Yep. Player Essence.
Nate, where can they find you, man?
Find me on Twitter at DirectFeedGames. You can also find me on Twitter at NateTheHate, followed by the number 2. Content-wise, we might have another video on the Nate the Hate channel if MVG and I explore some of the laundry list of discussions we are exploring. Gameplay-wise on DirectFeed Games, what the hell's coming out this week? I don't know. There'll be something up there, I'm sure.
Darksiders Genesis comes out.
Yeah,
on the 14th.
Darksiders Genesis. That'll have some footage up there. Right now I have direct feed handheld footage of Persona 5 Scramble. So if you want to see how that looks in handheld, you can. And I think that's it.
Okay. What about Sean?
You can find me on RGT85, RGT_85 on Twitter, talking about the XFL New York Guardians tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Let's get this dub. Let's get this season going. All XFL, all the time, baby. Let's go.
Los Angeles, baby. You getting beat. Los Angeles is going to win the title this. Go.
That channel going up soon, Sean? What's that channel? XFL.
No, we're rebranding RGT85 to XFL 85.
Wildcat.
Just the sudden Band-Aid ripoff change.
What about Jordan? Where can they find you, man?
You can find me at Jordan Fringe. I make Pokemon content, only Pokemon content all the time, only about Pokemon. No sports ball, just Pokemon.
What about when Animal Crossing comes out, though? You'll make Animal Crossing stuff?
Well, I'm full-time Twitch Animal Cross streamer when that happens.
Okay, cool. Very good. What about Max?
Twitch.
YouTube.com/Dreamcast Guide. This coming week, I'm able to talk about a top secret game that I flew all the way to LA to play. Should be fun. I'm also going to be doing a big video about dreams because I feel like not enough people are talking about it. And of course, I just put up a video about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, so should be fun.
Okay. And then Misclick.
Hey, thanks for having me on again. I appreciate it. You guys can find me here on YouTube as misclickgaming.com. Just Misclick Gaming. I haven't been doing YouTube for a while. We're taking a short break when we'll be back eventually, or shortly, I should say. And then I am live pretty much every day on Twitch. I am taking about a week, slightly over a week break, and the first time in like 4 years. So very excited about that. We're going to Colorado, but you can find me there at twitch.tv/misclick_live. Other than that, everything else, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, all that good stuff, you can find me at misclickgaming.com.
Slacker taking a break? What the hell? Taking a week off?
Excuse me? It's been like 4 years.
God, I don't ever take breaks.
Excuse me, you went and got married? You've been a freaking like
a 5-week
across
break.
the world?
Excuse me? What are you
Found
talking
yourself
about?
a really pretty girl with
I do not know what you're talking about.
I have no idea.
Our guest, VC. Where can they find you, man? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. And once again, I'm very appreciative of the invite. Thank you so much. This is a great cast of people here. You got Evan, Misclick, RGT, MVG, OJ, Jordan, Nate the Hate, Dreamcast Guy, Spawnwave, John. Thank you all so much for allowing me to come through. I really appreciate it. I do all different kinds of content on my channel at the 100% Click. That's like the group that we have at our channel. OJ has the Ninjas and I have the Click. And we do all kinds of content from live streams to gameplay, a lot of stuff for subscribers. We play Smash Brothers all the time, Splatoon, tons of stuff. I was playing God Eater 3 the other day. It was a lot of fun, except for all the menus in that game. If you ever played that game, there's too many menus, way too many. And aside from that, you can follow me on Twitter at VCIPZ. It's 5 letters, easy to find. And yeah, that's about everything else. And we usually have a giveaway every month. The last 2 months we did $20 giveaways, but this month we have a $10 eShop code giveaway, and we have 2 of them. So there's 2 potential winners. So if you subscribe to the channel, you'll be eligible.
Okay, cool. What about Evan?
It's on Twitter, Kimmerix Project. If I ever got a convention or something coming up, I usually start talking about it there.
Cool. Zaire Miller asked real quick, what is your dream remake? Theirs is Persona 5 or Persona 3. Sorry, Persona 3.
Nights into Dreams.
AAA Nights on the way.
No, Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say Metal Gear Solid 1. But
I'd like to see a real remake of Silent Hill.
Oh, okay.
If we're talking remake,
Twist would be fine.
We're talking absolute remake, man. Metal Warriors.
Oh, okay.
Talking remakes, like full-on remakes, I would say, as much as I love the game, Resident Evil 4 or Demon Souls.
Demon Souls. That's fine.
Wait, Demon Souls? You know something, Nate, about Blue Point? What? Demon
Good night,
Souls?
everybody.
Launch PS5 game.
Almonds are awesome.
All right, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.